Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Coming up in 2 minutes, how much snow overall fell throughout the state on Thursday, plus what the future governor of Indiana is planning for the executive branch, and the shift that some experts believe may be happening in Indiana politics. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
She's his second choice for Attorney General. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News President-elect Trump has nominated Pam Bondi, Florida's former Attorney General, hours after Matt Gaetz withdrew from consideration. Bondi was also a Trump lawyer in his first impeachment case. In a post, the former president wrote,
Pam will refocus the DOJ to its intended purpose of fighting crime and making America safe again. I've known Pam for many years. She's smart. She's tough.
Fox's Alexis McAdams near the Trump estate in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Trump is trying to shake things up. That's what he was trying to do with Matt Gaetz, right? But it didn't work. There was just too much controversy.
Democrats continue to push to get a House ethics report released investigating Gaetz' sexual misconduct and drug abuse allegations.
House Speaker Mike Johnson has argued that since Gaetz is no longer a member of Congress, the committee no longer has jurisdiction, so the report shouldn't be released. Gaetz has not yet announced if he will return to the House for the next Congress starting in January. His resignation only affected the current term and does not cover the fact that Gaetz was reelected in his district.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmel. Speaking of the next Congress, after a recount in Pennsylvania, Democratic Senator Bob Casey has conceded defeat to Dave McCormick.
We're excited to have this resolved finally. Yeah, mathematically, it was clear from Election Day on that the election was over.
And McCormick also tells Fox,
we need to step back and look what happened in this election and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Referring to officials in some counties violating a state law and court order by counting disputed ballots that don't meet qualifications. McCormick's win in Pennsylvania gives Republicans a 53-47 Senate majority for the next Congress. Some people in the Northeast woke up to snow on the ground, and Moore's forecast with winter storm warnings up from West Virginia up to upstate New York.
A lot of snow, folks, because this is an all-day event, but also it does linger into Saturday because this low is kind of doing a dance over the Northeast, not really moving too much.
Fox Weather's Britta Merwin. There's also heavy snow in Northern California, record rain in Oregon and Washington State, where nearly 200,000 power outages exist. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
How much overall? It's mostly cloudy and 38 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. The snow is gone, and in fact, it has likely melted away by now. Still, a lot fell on most of the state.
We saw around 3.2 inches of snow measured officially at Indianapolis International Airport, and that's a good amount of snow for November. Although it's not entirely uncommon, we often see accumulating snow starting out during the month of November.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service. A dog killed and 7 people now without a home. That's because of a fire that happened Thursday afternoon on the north side of Indy. Firefighters believe it was an unattended space heater that caused the fire near 79th and Ditch Road. 2 parents convicted of kidnapping their kids and wanting to take them to Mexico. Sasha Nixon reports on Willie and Jessica Terrell.
A silver alert had been declared for them, as well as their children, Frankie, Queen, and King, in early July. The Terrells had apparently been with their kids' grandfather and legal guardian when they disappeared. Officers later got into a standoff with the parents at a Texas hotel. They learned that the two had been planning to go over the border to Mexico with their children. Sasha Nixon, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Changes coming to the executive branch of Indiana's government. That's according to Governor-elect Mike Braun, who says that he plans to restructure things into a more cabinet-like system between he and his secretaries. He also plans to create a few new positions, which he says will promote better accountability and coordination. Some experts believe Indiana's political climate may be shifting based on the recent results of the election.
I think you can kind of see the trends already there. I think your donut counties are going to continue to trend more and more Democratic. I think you're going to see some other changes, Lake counties and the region trending more Republican.
Ball State political scientist Chad Kinsella on Wish TV. Kickoff is tomorrow for the Indiana Hoosiers. They face number 2 Ohio State in Columbus with playoff implications riding on the outcome. Indiana has not beat the Buckeyes since 1988. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Northbound 65 has reopened at West 71st Street, and traffic has cleared out as well. And the interstates are looking pretty good right now. 465 good on the southwest side in the finish line construction zone. I-69 is done. The 465 portion is not. That should be finished by the end of the year. Traffic sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance. With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate First for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
You think the Bible's boring? It's hard to understand? This is Pastor Nathan from Life Church. We explain the Bible book by book, chapter by chapter, and verse by verse. We know God's Word breathes life into people Sunday after Sunday. And when we finish a book, not only will you understand it, but we believe that it'll change you. We just started the book of John, and it reveals who God is. If you're just curious or you've walked with the Lord for a long time, we'd love to have you come. Check out lifechurchin.com for service times and locations.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy, cool, some areas of drizzle possible throughout the day. Today's high 44, mostly cloudy, quiet, and chilly overnight. A low of 36. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
Some spotty showers to the north on radar, otherwise cloudy and 38 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning and happy Friday. It is November 22nd. It is 6 minutes after 9. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Did you see we made the paper?
I did. The Indy Star wrote up a big article. Of course, they were talking about Micah Beckwith, and they did mention us, and they got it right. They mentioned us by name, Kendall and Casey Show. Radio program.
We're moving up in the world. So if you missed, obviously a huge portion of the show yesterday was this it's totally believable because it's the public education system, but just completely ridiculous behavior by the Westfield Washington school system, where they invited Micah Beckwith as the incoming lieutenant governor who oversees agriculture to visit with and hear from and speak to ag students. And then the wine mom Karens got mad on the county chatter board, and because 15-ish of them called the superintendent to complain, they disinvited Micah. We said, okay, well, 15's the standard. I think we can do that in 3 minutes. We shut the voicemail down. Then I think we did it again after the voicemails got unclogged. And then I guess, it's so weird because they say nobody listens. But I guess there must have been somebody accidentally listening that day because now Westfield has caved and invited Micah back to be a part of the ag kids, the ag students. And so Mike will be with us at 9:30 to talk about,
how that went and what they discussed at their meeting.
What a win for humanity. We are the daily. I was thinking about that last night, Casey.
Yeah.
Our radio program is a daily win for humanity. That's how we should now brand our show. Kendall and Casey, a daily win for humanity.
We got a tagline now. That's great. Okay, so we're going to talk about that a little bit more coming up at 9:30 when Micah Beckwith joins us. But the big news that happened yesterday was that Matt Gaetz withdrew his name as Donald Trump's possible attorney general pick. Now, here's a reminder. Gaetz only resigned from his seat from the 118th Congress, but he was elected to serve in the 119th Congress, which begins in January. So he is potentially a still representative-elect.
Okay, so yeah, but look, I mean, there's clearly something in. He didn't have the votes. I think that's pretty obvious. And if you believe the report, maybe it was Charlie Kirk that put it out. I can't remember who it was, but the rumored was it's the usual suspects. It's Murkowski, Collins. By the way, Murkowski voted for the idiot that's Morakis, the moron, the bald guy that looks like the Mayorkas. Yeah, thank you. I mean, so these people have no problem voting for Democrats, right? But if it's a Republican with any sort of but if it's a Democrat that's going to run society into the ground, then let's sign right up for that. This is what, look, what's our saying? The Republicans are ass, right? And this is another example of this. There's been no criminal charges against Matt Gaetz. Clearly, the Biden Justice Department was looking into Matt Gaetz. You think they found something damaging and we're just like, he seems like a nice guy. We're not gonna do anything with that. No, of course not. There's no proof of anything criminal that this guy did. Now, whether or not there was something damaging in that report to the point he didn't want it to come out, I don't know. But it was clear. It was the usual suspects. It was Collins. It was Murkowski. It was McConnell. It was this new goofball that's getting elected to take Romney's place in Utah. I'm sure Spendingberg was probably in on that too. The Duke of Spendingberg, Todd Young. And so, it was it was an odd pick because you have to know the team with which you're playing. And I find it hard to believe Trump didn't at least think on some level this guy's not getting through. I mean, he knew that report was out there. He knew the allegations were out there. He knew those people don't like him to begin. I don't think Gaetz would have got through even if those allegations were out there, because I think people like McConnell and Murkowski and Collins and whatever doofus.
Anyone not in the Freedom Caucus.
I mean, whatever these, they just don't like him, and they're petty enough that they will sink someone they don't like. Now, Democrats, come on in, but if you're a conservative or whatever, then you're held to a much higher standard. So I had to think Trump knew that. I know people think this is some 8D chess that he was playing.
Okay, now it started out as 3D chess, and then it moved to 4D chess. And actually, last night I heard somebody say 5D chess. I mean, this chess game just keeps getting more elaborate. Some people are saying that Gaetz was used as bait to draw out into the open the rhinos in the Senate.
Yeah, I know. And there's no way Trump is stupid enough to think that this wasn't going to hit some serious hurdles. And it always comes back to the thing that we talk about, and it's true with dating and it's true with politics. Is the juice worth the squeeze? And with Matt Gaetz, I do wonder, it's like, what could this guy do that no one else was going to be able to do? And I know we're going to get to in a second. It seems like the person he's now picking to take his place will be confirmed and will give you all the same things that Gaetz was going to give you. So what was
without all the baggage?
Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there has to have been something else at play, because why would you have gone through all that rigmarole? You had to know this is how it was going to end.
Well, Gaetz said it was clear that his confirmation was unfairly becoming a distraction to the critical work of the Trump-Vance transition team. And now, where will Matt Gaetz land? One possibility is Senate in Florida.
There's no way your boyfriend, Ron DeSantis, is going to pick him to be a senator, right?
Well, as you said, if you're Ron DeSantis, wouldn't you pick yourself?
Well, absolutely. And I'm not being facetious when I said that. If he wants to be a senator. Now, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's focused on, I'm going to run for president again. I don't want to be a senator. But if you were Ron DeSantis, and I think you could do this with a clear conscience and a straight face and say, look, nobody's done better for Florida than me. I think I've taken this as far as I can take it. Maybe there's still things he wants to accomplish. but nobody's more popular in the state than me. Nobody's done a better job for this state than me. And so for picking the most qualified person, I'm going to run. I'm interested in pursuing this next anyway. I pick myself. I don't think anybody would be like, well, that was very selfish of him.
So DeSantis has already instructed the Florida Secretary of State to set a schedule for the special election for the Senate seats, which will be open from Rubio. A number of Republicans have already lined up with their hand raised saying, pick me, Laura Trump being one of them. But in regards to Matt Gaetz, possible gubernatorial run to replace Ron DeSantis, that's a possibility. A return to the House of Representatives, that's a possibility. Perhaps a career in the media. Donald Trump likes having a voice on television.
I think that's the most likely scenario. It's clear there are things that, while not perhaps criminal or illegal, are somewhat embarrassing to Gaetz that were in that report. And by the way, if before anybody starts pointing a finger and going, ooh, look at him, you know, if any person hearing my voice right now, if you had a congressional committee along with the federal government do a deep dive into every part of your 20s and early 30s, who wouldn't walk out of that going, ooh, there's some things in there that probably aren't going to look great for me. They might be a little embarrassing.
Now it's an opportunity for the media to turn all of their attention to Hegseth.
Well, right. And so my point is, for all these people that are like, Matt Gaetz, what a dirtball. There is no proof whatsoever. And if there were, they would have sprinted to indict him that he engaged in sex with an underage girl. There's an allegation. There is no victim that I'm aware of. Certainly the Biden administration must have not been able to find the alleged victim. It reeks of Blasey Ford all over again. Now, again, are there things that if they got out into the public, you'd go, ooh, that's kind of embarrassing for a person in public office? Maybe. But all of these people are throwing stones from glass houses in Washington, D.C. They all have their own little bag of dirt. And any human being, if you were to say, we are going to deep dive into your 20s or early 30s, and we're going to find the most embarrassing things about you that happened, and we're going to throw them into the public, who wouldn't be like, that's not going to be a great look for me?
So Joe Manchin was on CBS News, and he said that Matt Gaetz stepping down was very respectful.
I think Matt Gaetz did the most respectful thing for our country, his country and our country, and he did the most respectful thing for his family. So I thank him for that.
If the president had tried to exercise all political capital, that would have been a wasted effort with Matt Gaetz, probably.
I think, let me just say this. I believe the first 4 years, the president has learned a lot more than what people give him credit for, President Trump. And he knows where the buttons are. Okay? He knows it. He's learned that. And I think he absorbed it very well. So he knew when, you got to know when to hold him, know when to fold him. I think he knew that.
So do you think that it was Donald Trump going to Matt Gaetz saying, yeah, this isn't going to work. We need you to step down?
Well, right, especially if you're a person who believes they had some sort of plan worked out here to allow Gaetz. Because let's face it did allow him to resign from Congress while there's a cloud of suspicion over him. Mm-hmm. It logically would make sense that he would do that. It kept that report from coming out. It did give him a save face of, I wanted to be attorney general. I was pursuing being the attorney general. And now he can do whatever he wants to do. He's kind of free. It's a clean slate for him. His dad is still a big power broker in the state of Florida. And, we'll see what happens. But he was never going to get confirmed. McConnell and people like that were never going to allow that to happen. It didn't matter if there was this investigation going on. They do not want outsiders in the club. And you're right. Hegseth is going to be the next one they're going to come after and try to take him out. And we'll see what happens. Now, you want to talk about the person Trump did pick?
Yeah, she's amazing. Pam Bondi.
All right, let's take a break. Why don't we talk about that when we come back?
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
The colors of fall. Orange.
Orange cone zone. Orange cones all over the place. This time on the north side.
Orange.
Orange barrels are up, restricting the far left lane and then switching to the right lane.
And orange.
Aren't you glad that I didn't say orange again? That's a little traffic humor.
When the colors of fall have you seen red, orange.
If I never see orange again.
Turn to Matt Baird Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Say goodbye to cracked, stained floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out from their many colors. Upgrade your home today like I did. Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. They come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. Call now for a free estimate. 877-417-0635. They're also online at galaxyconcretecoatings.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Turney, a retired Army First Sergeant with over 25 years of service. I get my health care at Veteran Health Indiana and couldn't be happier. Learn about the benefits that we have all earned for our service. By joining the VA, you are supporting all our brothers and sisters who need our support.
Did you serve in the U.S. military? You need to learn about the veterans' health benefits that could be available to you. Visit vacares.us. That's vacares.us.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Get in gear with fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get a brand new 2024 Navigator. Get an incredible $10,000 off plus 0% for 60 months. Or get $7,000 off select new 2024 Lincoln Aviators plus 0% for 60 months. So get some of those fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Qualified buyers with approved credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Taxes and dealer fees extra. Stock number L24412. MSRP 104,200. Stock number L24208. MSRP 75,300. See dealer for complete details.
Don't want the worry of maintaining your furnace or air conditioner? Join B&W's Premier Club today. Visit bplusw.com/radio to learn more. B&W is your independent American Standard air dealer.
See Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Matt Gaetz said, "I will forever be honored that President Trump nominated me to lead the Department of Justice, and I'm certain he will save America." However, he then rescinded his name in the running, and Donald Trump went for one Floridian to another, announcing that former Sunshine State Attorney General Pam Bondi would be his new pick to lead the Justice Department. And that came just hours after Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration.
Well, and, you know, she's going to be great for that post. She'll get confirmed. You've already kind of heard the naysayers who were against Gaetz, some of them at least, have been more open, and she is a Trump loyalist. That is something that Trump needs in every position in his cabinet, is someone who is loyal to, well, first of all, obviously the Constitution of the United States, but a person who gets Trump. Trump is a whole different animal than anything we've ever seen in the history of American politics, certainly in the presidency. Maybe Andrew Jackson might come close to it. But in terms of, you're always dealing with some sort of calamity or crisis, and it involves Trump, and you got to have people who get Trump. It's like you've got in sports sometimes you have unorthodox athletes who don't. Here's a great example. The Indianapolis Colts have handled the Anthony Richardson thing completely wrong from the standpoint of, they have an owner, a trust fund baby, who can never just stay with the plan because he hears too much noise and he's too impatient. So you draft this guy last year who everybody says, this guy is not ready to play in the NFL. He was barely ready to play in college. He has phenomenal tools, and you have to lean into those tools and accept that it could be 3 years before you see the fruits of your labor, and you could be really bad for 3 years. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, totally get it, Yeah, we understand. No, you understand, right? This guy's going to do amazing things, and he's also going to do ridiculously stupid things, and you're going to have to learn how to limit. The success will be, can you limit the stupid over time? Yeah, we totally get it. What happened this year? In the middle of the season, the owner has a panic attack and then mandates, he's out of there. We got to go with Flacco. Why? Well, because the veterans are getting upset. We're a borderline playoff team, and this guy's not going to get us there. But we had an agreement that no matter what, we're sticking with the plan, and you understood that he was, no, you got to get out of there. It's the same thing with Trump. People in the first cabinet went in, these establishment people, oh, yeah, I want to be in the cabinet. Yeah, but this is different than like George Bush, okay? This is not some guy at home knitting his socks at 9 p.m. No, I get it. I want to be in there. Yeah, but it's really going to involve you having a spine of steel. Yeah, I get it. And then all this calamity would happen, and then, well, screw Trump. Yeah, I condemn Trump. Trump, I think, has learned his lesson that the most important thing to have around him, even more so maybe even than talent, and I'm not saying he's picked anybody who's not talented or going to be good at the position, but is somebody who gets him and who will stand behind him and who will stand with him. And with Pam Bondi, he is definitely getting that.
Well, yes, she has served as Florida's first female attorney general from 2011 to 2019. She was tough on violent criminals, worked to combat drug trafficking and also fentanyl overdoses. And Trump praised her. He called her smart, tough, and an America first fighter. He said that she would refocus the DOJ on fighting crime and making America safe again. But to your point, she has been a key Trump ally. She spoke not only at the 2016 convention, but also the 2020 convention. And she defended Trump during his first impeachment in 2020. And she also helped with his election-related legal efforts, not only in 2020, but very recently in 2024. And when she spoke at one of his rallies, this was right after the Mark Cuban comment about smart, intelligent women. She brought it in hot. Check this out.
Well, I was a prosecutor. I was a homicide prosecutor for 18 years. I was Florida's first female attorney general. And I was special advisor to Donald Trump, Office of White House Counsel. But most importantly, I'm his friend. And I was in that White House, and we all know he surrounded himself with a lot of brilliant women. How many women here tonight support Donald Trump? And backstage, look at these beautiful women sitting behind me. Sorry, guys, in the front row. Donald Trump. That was the greatest gift Mark Cuban could give Donald Trump, I think, by saying something so ignorant and stupid. So I have a message for Mark Cuban, from all of us here tonight. Underestimate us. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, so I think another thing, too, with this Trump administration, a big part of it is going to be weeding out the corruption and the cabal. And that especially in justice, with the ability to prosecute or not, with the stuff you saw with January 6th, while almost none of these people who looted and rioted cities across the country in 2020 went down. I think the biggest part of this and all of these cabinet level positions is going to be able to find and get rid of the people that are working against the American people inside the federal government.
Yeah, I think she's going to do a good job of that. And even the people at MSNBC agree about this as they list off some of her skills.
Pam Bondi is exactly what I was saying in the last segment that we should all fear, because she's competent. We may not agree with her ideologically, but she actually knows how to do this job. So if anyone on the Democratic side or anyone who cared about liberty or justice was thinking, well, maybe Matt Gaetz will screw this up and that'll give us some time. No, Pam Bondi knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing about immigration. Remember, Florida is one of those states that's been very aggressive about migrants and deportation and moving people to different states and everything else like that. Florida has enacted all sorts of rules and laws to curtail students and what they can do on campuses and finding legal justifications for manipulating education money. She is a dangerous and effective pick, and that's frankly worse than what we would have got with Matt Gaetz, even with the deplorable moral background that he has.
A smart, intelligent woman near Donald Trump. Imagine that.
Yeah. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we take a victory for humanity, Casey, a victory lap for humanity. You, the audience, take a victory lap for humanity. Those pesky, rotten, no good Westfield, Washington superintendent and school board, they caved. They caved to you. You are the big winner. We'll talk with Micah Beckwith when we come back.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Pat Sullivan here for Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Thanksgiving is next week, and did you know it's late? I mean, really late. As late as it can be. So why wait until Black Friday to start decorating? Fresh Christmas trees and greens have arrived. Porch pots are 20% off. Shop early for the best selection. Speaking of selection, how about checking out one of the largest selections of artificial Christmas trees in the state? 140 trees ranging from 2 to 14 foot tall, all priced before Christmas at 30% off. Now for a little bit of fun at our Keystone store and Allisonville store, we'll be tapping the 2024 Sullivan Express All Aboard Ale brewed by Beer Brewery. Yes, we'll have beer samples along with gourmet food samples all weekend long. Grilling out for Thanksgiving? How about 20% off any grill accessory? Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's.
Hey guys, mortgage rates are down and creating more active buyers and sellers. If you've been waiting, now is a great time to sell your home before more homes flood the market, driving down prices. Maximize your home sale now with the market expert who delivers maximum money in less time, Mark Dietl. Maybe you want guaranteed no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed-upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Ray in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietl. I needed to move in a hurry, so I was out the door into a new home, but left with the big problem of selling my old home with 2 mortgage payments fast approaching. I heard Mark Dietl was the answer, and I heard right. I was ecstatic when Mark sold my home for the price I needed in 2 days on the market. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietl.com. It's Mark, Dietel.com. Tell him Rob sent you.
So this new dose is, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Out with Gaetz, in with Bondi. It's cloudy and 39 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President-elect Donald Trump is choosing former Florida Attorney General for U.S. Attorney General. Of course, his selection of Pam Bondi comes after former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz withdrew his name from consideration due to a lack of support in the U.S. Senate. If you're still using Windows 10 on your computer, it'll soon cost you. Fox's Evan Brown explains.
Microsoft has been pushing its Windows 11 operating system for a few years now, though it allowed people to not upgrade Windows 10 installations and still receive security upgrades. But in less than a year from now, Microsoft will end that free support for Windows 10 users. Starting October 2025, Windows users who don't upgrade to version 11 will need to start paying for Microsoft security updates for Windows 10. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Russia is confirmed to have launched a new medium-range ballistic missile into Ukraine. In a speech yesterday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country used a non-nuclear hypersonic ballistic missile to strike a military factory. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. We are mixed to close out the week. The Dow is up 22 to 44,012. The NASDAQ is down 40 to 20,789. And the S&P 500 is down 4.5 to 5,966. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Shh. The silence you just heard? You could have used that space to reach your customers. Get your message in front of your customers. Text business to 71007 now. Get results with Radio 1.
Diamonds Direct's once-a-year pre-holiday store-wide sale is almost over. Now through Sunday, get Diamonds Direct's amazing value price. And for the first time, it's even bigger. Get an extra 20% savings. Virtually everything in store is included. It's the big sale Diamonds Direct is famous for. Hurry, this incredible sale ends Sunday and will not be extended. Get the perfect gift you're looking for at the very best price. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Diamonds Direct. For details, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Enroll at healthcare.gov by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hearing about online threats every day can be stressful. McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. What does worry-free mean? You won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends 12/4/24. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Lynn just hates painting in the fall, so she called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Formulated for our specific climate here in Indy and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty.
We truly believe in this product.
Now get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers. Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This Saturday and Sunday is the annual holiday open house at Sundown Gardens. Shop both days and enjoy sales, samples, giveaways, and door prizes. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road.
I'm gonna rid myself a house in the shade of the freeway.
Casey?
Yes, Rob.
We won.
Yes, congratulations.
Well, by we, I mean society won.
I think you mean our audience won.
Yeah, I mean like the radio show won, and we are society.
Yeah, okay, a small society of 2, but larger picture, everybody who called in to the Westfield schools won.
Yeah, so just to reset yesterday, we had Micah Beckwith on. He's of course the incoming lieutenant governor, and he told this. It's not even unbelievable. It's totally believable. It's ridiculous, but it's totally believable story about how he was invited to go visit with the ag students at Westfield High School because, well, he's going to control agriculture.
Right.
And then a bunch of wine mom Karens in Westfield who are mad that Micah loves Jesus got pissed off. And he said at 15-ish, called the superintendent or principal or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they were like, ooh, boy, that's a lot of people. We can't have that. So they disinvited him. So we said, okay, well, if 15's the standards, I think we can do that in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We shut the superintendent's voicemail down. Then we started emailing him.
Yeah.
Then when his voicemail was unshut down, I think we shut it down again. And now we have an update.
Yeah.
Joining us on the WIBC hotline is Micah Beckwith. And hey, Micah, it sounds like our show had some influence.
Hey, what's up, guys? It totally did. You guys have a very powerful platform, and I think we showed just how to use that platform. And I think conservatives for many years have gone quietly into the night, and that season is over. We're not doing that anymore. If you're going to bend the knee to the woke mob, you're going to get it from the other side, too. So you might as well just gear up and do what you believe is right, because conservatives are not going to be silenced anymore.
So you met with the superintendent and somebody from the school board like hours after you were on our show, and they said, sorry?
Well, it wasn't quite like that. I mean, they weren't quick to apologize. They certainly were willing to have a conversation, and I appreciated that. It was a come to Jesus meeting. I mean, I was not holding back, and I think they saw my frustration. They understood my frustration. At the end of the conversation, though, you know, they just said, "How do we make this right?" I said, "Well, and just invite me back." And they said, "We can't do that."
Why not?
Wait.
Why not?
They can't. What do you mean they can't?
Well, and that's what it was. It was one of those moments where I said, "Okay, fine. Well, then I'm not welcome in your schools. And I ended the conversation. I walked out. I just said, thanks for your time. And that was after about an hour of a conversation. And so then I was about ready to, light them up on social media. And I get a call about 20 minutes later saying, hey, talk to the board, talk to the teacher. We would like to have you come back. I said, okay, I appreciate that. I'll take you up on that. So it was certainly some tough negotiation, but I think the other thing that really kind of was baffling to me, we went round and round on why boys shouldn't be allowed to use women's restrooms for about 30 minutes. And I mean, that was probably where more of the conversation was planted. And I was flabbergasted that you have leaders in the school systems that are so scared to say what is so common sense because they're afraid of a lawsuit. And that was the response. The board members said, well, who's going to pay for the lawsuit if we keep boys out of girls' bathrooms? I said, who cares? Do what's right.
Right.
It doesn't matter who pays for it.
Here's what I don't understand, though. So they told you 15-ish people called, and that was enough to disinvite you. We shut the guy's voicemail down. I think we did it twice. We could have done it about 10 times if we'd have wanted to. He gets all these emails, and they're still like, well, we can't invite you back. Like, it doesn't seem like if the standard is we got complaints, then if you got way more people that were like, you're being ridiculous, let the guy speak, shouldn't that, it seems like there's a higher bar for the let Micah speak people. Like, we had a higher bar to eclipse than the wine mom Karens in Westfield.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you're forgetting something. These board members and the superintendent are leftist ideologues. So whether they want to say they're conservative, they want to be like, oh, no, we're super conservative. No, you're either leftist ideologues or you're complete cowards. That's the only two options that you have. And so they don't have the bandwidth nor the desire to stand up for what's true and what's good and what's virtuous. And so it takes a whole lot of butt kicking from our side to get them to do what's right. But I think this is a new norm, and I think everybody needs to learn from this experience. If you have a school system that's doing something this outlandish that will not do what's right, this is how you win the battle. You have to shoot the arrows right back at them and let them know, hey, you cannot just bend the knee to the left without a swift hellfire theory that is going to befall your school from the right if you go down this path.
Micah, I'm curious, who brought up the boys in the girls' restrooms conversation that you spent 30 minutes of your hour-long meeting talking about?
So I brought it up because I said to him, I said, guys, I'm frustrated not because of you saying I can't come speak, or I'm not even frustrated that a boy used a girl's restroom because you're gonna have kids that do dumb things in school. It's not your fault that a kid does a dumb thing in your school. What I'm frustrated about is that you do not have the courage to say or do what's right, and I have to come in here and raise holy hell to make you do what's right. And that's the frustrating thing, because I shouldn't have to do this. And they were saying, well, can you please just legislate this away for us so that we can say that boys legally, from the legislator's perspective, can't use girls' restrooms? I'm like, do we have to legislate common sense for you all? Like, it's not a hard question. And I said, if you don't get basic biology right, how can I sell Westfield schools to anybody to say, oh, they'll teach your kids algebra and philosophy and critical thinking well, when you don't even know the basics of biology? And so I said, we will work at the legislative level to put parameters in so that we can legislate boys should not use girls' restrooms. I'm sorry that we have to do that, but yes, we will work on that. But in the meantime, can you just use common sense and be bold enough to defend common sense, Westfield? That's all I'm asking.
All right, so a couple minutes here left with Micah Beckwith. He was now re-invited to appear at Westfield High School to speak with the Ag students, thanks to you, our fabulous audience. So this was big to me because we've talked about this for a couple months now, and it looks like you're going to be lieutenant governor, and certainly since you've won the election, which is it's a new day. And this is about sending a message not just to these school districts, but also these esteemed individuals down the street from us at the State House, which is the old way ain't gonna work anymore. You're in there, and when you're in there, that means Cousin Eddie over here is going to get all the info, and that means we will burn anything and everything to the ground when you guys, whether it's public education, these towns, these townships, the lawmakers, when you guys pull bull crap, we are not taking it anymore. So just stop with the crap.
That's right. That's 100% right. And I think that's why Trump won in a landslide, because this same sentiment that you feel, Rob, you feel, Casey, that I feel, that the majority of Hoosiers feel, is being felt around the nation. That people are fed up with the bull crap. And if you're gonna use systems of government to pull this bull crap time and time again, today's a new day. It's going to stop, and we're going to call it out. And I will say this last thing, if I can. They did say, would you mind if we have some other representatives and senators join you at this when we have you back? And just because I want to extend an olive branch, I said yes. But just so you know, they're doing that, and I know why they're doing that. They're doing that because they want to give themselves cover.
Yes.
So I am going back to speak at Westfield, but they still don't have the courage just to bring me back. So they're going to bring some other legislators back. So they can say, well, we've got some other legislators.
Right.
So it's not just Micah. So,
right.
But you know what? We'll take it, and I'll extend the olive branch and be the bigger man.
So, Micah, this looks like a win from where I'm sitting. Do you feel like it was a win for you?
Absolutely. And it was a necessary butt kicking that we had to give to the Westfield school corporations. And I think it was a warning to every other school corporation in Indiana that if this happens, you can expect the battle will come to your front door. So gear up. You better put your armor on, because if you're doing stuff that's pulling bull crap over the parents and over the students, then we're going to fight you. We're going to stand up to you. And it's a new day in America. It's a new day in Indiana, and that's what's coming.
Do you know if my new adopted dad, Mike Braun, is proud of me, Micah?
Do I know if he is, or do you tell me he is proud of me?
Yeah, no, is he? Did he say anything? Was he like, I'm proud of you and Rob. I'm proud of what you do?
No, he is not. No, he's in Washington voting on judicial nominees. So we got him out there.
I really want Dad's approval.
Do you really think that Mike Braun is sitting around thinking about you? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, Micah Beckwith, thank you, congratulations, and enjoy your trip.
Hey, thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and you guys have a good weekend.
You too. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
3:06 this afternoon, Hammer and Nigel show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories in Indy, and it's Beer Sample Friday, baby. Let's go.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, what's all this I hear about seasons free things?
Yeah, we're giving away even more than usual this season.
Free alignment with any Ford tire purchase isn't seasonal, Mike. It's free every day at Tire Discounters.
Sure, but right now, guess what else happens every day?
I know that customers can save up to $529 on Goodyear and Cooper tires.
Absolutely. Now, guess what else?
Mike, I'm a Phantom tire buyer with a secret identity. Please don't toy with me.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes?
We're doing these drawings.
Like a game show.
And one lucky customer per day wins all their money back for 4 tires.
Spectacular! But why call it seasons free things?
You know, season's greetings. It's like a play on words.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that. It's seasons free things at Tire Discounters. One lucky customer per day wins their money back on tires. Everyone saves big on major brands. And a free alignment and oil change comes with every Ford tire purchase.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. For the last 97 years, we've offered Central Indiana the best mattresses at the best price with free delivery and interest-free financing. Now through Monday, save up to $800 on Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Nectar mattresses, plus Queen mattresses start at $399. The Back to Sleep sale is going on now through Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go.
Would you like fries with that?
Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
This is a story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue.
Hey, Rob, we're going to call this segment the mainstream media in panic. They're realizing they no longer get to have full control over the narrative. And they're struggling with it. MSNBC has reduced Rachel Maddow's annual salary by $5 million.
Wait, they reduced it by $5 million?
Reduced it by $5 million.
How much were they paying her?
From $30 million to $25 million.
Whoa. No, there's no way that's an annual salary.
Yes.
They were paying that
annual salary by $5 million from $30 to $25
Is that because she won the Fred Savage lookalike contest? Is there a premium added to your salary if you win the Fred Savage lookalike contest?
Is that who she looks like?
What?
It's weird. Mark Cuban looks like her now.
What possible reason could there be to have paid that woman $30 million a year? For what?
Well, they say that she has unique value to the network and that she is a ratings Viagra.
To who?
Don't know.
What? I mean, the MSNBC's ratings have been horrible for decades, other than when Trump was president.
They called her their secret weapon for breaking news on MSNBC. Yeah. She's going to continue to do her night show. She's going to produce podcasts and also create documentaries. But listen to this.
So she's still making $25 million a year.
Mm-hmm. And MSNBC's ratings have dropped by 54% following Donald Trump's victory. And that's on top of the 40% decline from the previous year.
We've talked about this before. They have to want that network to fail. The idea that you would allocate $30 million worth of resources to a person that, outside of, again, when Trump was president, has offered no tangible benefit to your network. Mm-hmm. And again, though, the premise of you starting the segment is the end. I mean, it's the end of the legacy media, right? Mm-hmm. And this is a great example of, think about how much money they have wrapped up in this one person who isn't delivering. And if you're a podcaster, you have no overhead whatsoever, and you just go do your thing. I mean, like Theo Vaughn does it in his house, isn't that right? It always looks like he's in a house somewhere when he does it. Is that right, Kev?
Yeah, it seems like he's in his basement.
Thank you. And so Joe Rogan, it's some, they put that set together. How much did that cost? I mean, it's just, this is unbelievable what a horrible business decision that would be to pay that woman $7, much less $25 million.
Well, think about this. Not only are they paying her, but on a TV set, you've got, the technical director and the director, and you've got the audio guys and everybody who's working the Chiron and everything. The dude and I priced it out at one point, and you could put together, and this is a pretty elaborate podcast with lights and multiple cameras for less than $1,000. You can buy all the equipment on Amazon.
Absolutely. I mean, you could do this. Now, how do you elevate it? But the point is, and look, I know that MSNBC is in all these, what do they call that, carriage? Is that the name of it? Like like how many homes it's in, the carriage, the cable networks where it's carried.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. But in a world where, like when I was a kid or young adult or whatever, we had probably 80 channels in our house.
Mm-hmm.
And once you got past 80, it was the scrambled, you had to turn sideways to see it channels.
Yeah.
Not saying I did that, but I think there's a boob. But there were 80. Yeah, Kev's laughing. He knows what I'm talking about. There were like 80 channels, and you rolled through those unless you had some sort of premium package. That was it. So you would find Fox News, you would find CNN, you would find MSNBC just flipping through your channels because it wasn't that hard to get through all the channels. Now, a lot of people have, at the minimum, hundreds of channels. At the most, some people have 600, 700, 800 channels. You're not accidentally finding things anymore to draw ratings. You have to seek you out, and no one's seeking this out. No one wants to consume this.
Well, but to Rachel Maddow's credit, they're like, yeah, we're going to keep you on, but you're going to make $5 million less a year. She's like, yeah, where do I sign?
No kidding.
Because in the wake of what's going on with Morning Joe and Micah, and they're like wondering, are we going to have a job? Especially as this is all coinciding with Comcast plans to spin off all their cable channels in 2025. So Rachel Maddow's like, yeah, lock me in. Give me a contract, because even if this blows up, you guys got to pay me.
I cannot, if you're a shareholder of this company, I cannot understand why this behavior is acceptable to you.
So another interesting thing that happened is that Joy Behar from The View said people like their show because they tell the truth, unlike dragon believer Joe Rogan.
We went from Walter Cronkite, basically, to this guy, Joe Rogan, who believes in dragons. I checked it. He believes in dragons? He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did. So this is the type of really, really bad information that's going out.
So, I saw where Rogan had changed his Twitter bio to Dragon Believer.
He did. He changed it. And and just yesterday, Sunny Hostin was forced to read yet another legal note about Matt Gaetz and Pig Headsight. So they're saying, they're fact-checked by ABC, and that's why people like their show. No, nobody likes your show. No. How long is that one going to be on the air?
Look,
is the clock
you hate
ticking?
to see it, Casey. You hate to see it. Hate to see it.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
Get in gear with fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get a brand new 2024 Navigator. Get an incredible $10,000 off plus 0% for 60 months. Or get $7,000 off select new 2024 Lincoln Aviators plus 0% for 60 months. So get some of those fall savings at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Qualified buyers with approved credit. Not all buyers will qualify. Taxes and dealer fees extra. Stock number L24412. MSRP 104,200. Stock number L24208. MSRP 75,300. See dealer for complete details.
Diamonds Direct's once-a-year pre-holiday store-wide sale is almost over. Now through Sunday, get Diamonds Direct's amazing value price. And for the first time, it's even bigger. Get an extra 20% savings. Virtually everything in store is included. It's the big sale Diamonds Direct is famous for. Hurry, this incredible sale ends Sunday and will not be extended. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Diamonds Direct. For details, visit diamondsdirect.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
For service today?
Today.
So this new dose is, well, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the amount of snow that fell on central Indiana yesterday. Plus, Jake McDaniel reports on a fire that left a family of 7 homeless. And the changes Indiana's next governor plans to make to the executive branch. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
She's a stellar choice. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Matt Gaetz says about Pam Bondi, President-elect Trump's new nominee for Attorney General, announced hours after Gaetz withdrew his controversial nomination. Republican Senator Josh Hawley also supports Bondi taking over the Justice Department, telling Fox.
We need to open the books on what these agencies have done, how they've gone after Trump, how they've gone after conservatives, how they've gone after religious Americans, people of faith. We need to lay it all bare, and then we need to fire everybody involved, and we need to overhaul DOJ and the FBI, and I think Pam Bondi will be up for that task.
Now, President-elect Trump calls Bondi smart and tough.
Bondi served as Florida's AG from 2011 to 2019 and was the state's first female attorney general. Before that, she served 18 years as a prosecutor. As Florida AG, Bondi led efforts to combat opioid abuse and end human trafficking.
That's Fox's Brooke Singman. The Senate has to confirm Bondi and many other Trump nominees, and the president-elect's party will be in the majority with 53 Republican seats after Democratic Senator Bob Casey finally conceded in Pennsylvania following a recount.
As the first count of ballots is completed, Pennsylvanians can move forward with the knowledge that their voices were heard, whether their vote was the first to be counted or the last.
With the GOP in control next year, a bill that stalled in the Senate may move forward.
Georgia Republican Congressman Mike Collins represents the district where Laken Riley was murdered in Georgia. And following the guilty verdict, Collins tells Fox News Radio he wants to once again pass the Laken Riley Act next Congress.
That's one more tool we can use. And yeah, we need to make sure that gets passed quick.
The bill requires ICE to detain illegal immigrants charged with local theft or burglary.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. Ukraine will hold emergency talks on Tuesday with NATO, the defense alliance helping support Ukraine against Russia's war. This after Russia, for the first time, used a new intermediate-range ballistic missile. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
You got quite a bit. It's 37 and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. It's only November, but many would say 3 inches of snow this early in the cold weather months is kind of a surprise. That's how much fell on much of the state on Thursday. It's all gone now.
We are expecting mostly cloudy skies today, and high temperatures not rising a whole lot. We'll only see high temperatures in the lower to middle 40s.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service. 3 people shot on the northwest side late Thursday. One of them was killed near the lakeside crossing at Eagle Creek Apartments. 7 people are without a home on the north side. Jake McDaniel tells you why.
That was when a space heater in the back of their bedroom of their home was believed to have caught fire. It happened Thursday afternoon on Indy's north side on Grandview Drive. Firefighters say no one was injured, but a dog died in the fire. The 7 people who lived in that home for 19 years will now stay with relatives, firefighters say. This wasn't their first time dealing with a fire that day. Earlier, firefighters had to deal with a diner on Indy's east side. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A restructuring coming within Indiana's government. Governor-elect Mike Braun plans to rework the executive branch into a more of a true cabinet-like system when he takes office. He'll also be creating some new positions, such as the Secretary of Public Safety, which will oversee school safety, corrections, and homeland security. Strongholds for both political parties in Indiana may be shifting. That's according to Ball State political science professor Chad Kinsella.
It's just there's this really interesting upheaval right now, and some of it might be the Trump phenomenon, but the parties are evolving. And the people who vote for those parties are also evolving.
He tells Wish TV in Lake County, for example, he says Democrats still have an immense stronghold there, but he added that more people voted Republican in that area than in the last 2 elections. The Indiana Pacers resume NBA Cup pool play tonight. They are going to face the Milwaukee Bucks on the road as they look to snap out of an early season funk. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, holiday shoppers, got a no-brainer gift idea for you. It always fits. It's super useful, and best of all, it's just $50, plus you get 2 for the price of 1. I'm talking about a classic membership with AAA Hoosier Motor Club. AAA has bailed me out so many times. I've been broken down on the side of the road. I've had my car battery die on me, flat tires. AAA is there getting me back on the road ASAP right now. You can get 2 memberships for the price of 1.
And that comes with roadside assistance, 24/7, 365. Get that peace of mind knowing your loved ones are safe out on the road. Plus, travel discounts, complimentary travel planning, and you can also get info on auto, home, life insurance. All you got to do is visit AAA.com/radio to get this deal. AAA.com/radio, or stop by a local AAA office. 2 memberships for just $50. Give that gift right now.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Pierce Jewelers, designers of fine jewelry.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Friday, November 22nd. It's 5 minutes after 10. You're listening to Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to be joined by country music icon Billy Dean.
Our buddy.
Yeah, he's going to be performing in Danville in December, and we have all of the details for you coming up.
We're the MCs again.
Yes, we are. It's for charity.
We've had such resounding success with this. Every year he does this concert in Central Indiana for charity. Some great groups make a lot of green off of it, and he's back again for a 3rd year. And once again, despite the fact that we're told nobody likes us, they keep asking us to do these various events like the one I did last night, and so we'll be there, and so we'll visit with Billy Dean coming up here in just a little bit.
You said nobody likes us. However, our names were in the newspaper.
We made the paper.
Yeah, we
made
did.
The paper.
Made the paper. It's in regards to a Micah Beckwith article. Of course, it's without Micah Beckwith, what would they write about?
Well, what's fascinating is, and obviously we talked with Micah about this earlier. It's a much bigger story than Micah Beckwith. The Star, they don't get it. Or they get it and they just are in some sort of weird denial over it, which is every time they print one of these stories, they come at it from the flex or the angle of, ooh, look at this expose, we've got you this time. And it's like, no, he went on public radio to discuss it. Pretty sure he wanted the public to know about it, and pretty sure based on the fact that the Westfield superintendent and school board acquiesced and said, hey, come back and talk to our kids, they were admitting they screwed up. Our audience made it abundantly clear to those people by shutting down the voicemail box, etc. No, these wine mom Karens are in the minority. You'll allow parking for Pride Day parades on campus, or you'll let men in the women's restrooms. That's all okay. That's your diversity. But when the diversity comes from the other side, which is here's the Republican incoming elected lieutenant governor, who, by the way, doesn't want to talk about politics. He doesn't want to have his political views heard. He just wants to hear from ag students about agriculture, which he oversees. Well, that's a real threat to these kids, right? So they're not actually about diversity. They're not actually about free thought. They're about one form of thought. And if you oppose that, then you're the one against free thought.
Okay, so you said there were 15 wine moms, and I heard actually that it was one mom and 14 of her friends.
Oh, well, but of course, right? But But the point is, who cares if it was 100 mothers, if it was 200 mothers? He is the lieutenant governor. He's never been convicted nor even accused of any crimes against humanity that I'm aware of. There's zero reason any person would feel with their children are unsafe around this person. Clearly, he's a pastor of a very large church in Hamilton County, which many, many people send their children to and they attend. And it wouldn't matter. He's the lieutenant governor. He oversees agriculture. His job is to craft policies around an industry that these children are clearly interested, they are in many cases already a part of or interested in going into. There's zero reason for him not to be there. And thankfully, and again, this is about sending a message. We're done doing business as usual here. If you pull this crap, we're going to find out about it, and we're going to use the power of this show to impact public policy. And it's also about sending a message to the people at the State House. Get ready, Val, because this is what's coming first of next year if you stand in the way of Mike Braun's property tax plan.
Well, it just shows the hypocrisy because Dr. Jill Biden visited the school last year. But then when Micah Beckwith, lieutenant governor of Indiana, somebody local, oh no. That's where we draw the line.
Hey, did you see Rob Reiner is checking himself into some sort of facility to cope with Donald Trump's election?
Yes, he's broken. Okay, so he posted, I have made the decision to take the next few days to check into a facility for peace and relaxation. No phones, social media, no trolls, just calmness to heal my pain.
Isn't this amazing? So he is a 77-year-old man. He's a 77-year-old man, very wealthy, and he has 3 adult children. And he is so distraught over Donald Trump's election and then his own choice to engage in rhetoric related to Trump's election that he has to check himself into some sort of facility to cope. Like, it's okay if I bring the heat on this guy, but I don't want to deal with any blowback. I say whatever I want, and then I cannot cope with the blowback.
I think there's an old saying, something along the lines of, dish it out, but you can't take
right,
it.
Exactly. But these people you're a 77-year-old man. How many days do you actually have left, buddy? And that's not, look, I know there's many, many people who live into their 90s and hundreds, and I hope everybody is able to do that. But really, like, you're 77 and you're so torn up over the presidential election, and then apparently your own inability to stay off social media, if social media is causing you that much harm, that you've got to check yourself into a facility.
Yeah. Log out.
What is wrong with these? What is it? I heard this years ago, and I know we mentioned it many, many times, but a podcaster that I listened to said this, and they said, this person does not have a smartphone, and they said, you know what happens in my life? If I go sit under a tree for 3 hours, none of you people exist.
Right.
And even if you have a smartphone, that's true. If you just leave your phone indoors, like, the internet is not real life. It's not a real thing. These people don't exist in your orbit unless you allow them to exist in your orbit. And if it bothers you that much, then change the way. Somebody asked me this yesterday, and I get asked this all the time.
Change your algorithm. Change who you follow.
They said, how do you deal with these people on Twitter? I said, I don't. Like, I have fun and mess with the ones that deserve to be messed with, and I get great humor out of it. And the anonymous account people or the lunatic people, it's the equivalent of going to your county home. And I use this as an example all the time. would you go to your county home and start a fight with the people who unfortunately have to live there?
Yeah, no.
No, you wouldn't.
No.
That's what the anonymous account people are on Twitter. Like, they are disturbed, in many cases, deranged people who, of course, don't have the guts or decency to use their own name. They're not real. They're not. Why would you allow a non-real person to affect your day in any shape, form, or fashion?
And here's the thing. He announced it on Blue Sky. Find your community among millions of users. Unleash your creativity and have some fun again.
You mean the echo chamber? By the way, I saw our old twice failed statewide candidate Destiny Wells was headed over to Blue Sky, but then I saw she was barking about Beckwith on Twitter today. I really hope she runs for lieutenant governor in a couple of years so she can complete the trifecta of resounding and embarrassing defeats. Destiny, if you can hear my voice or someone knows Destiny, if you can please encourage her to run for lieutenant governor so she can complete the trifecta of embarrassing, resounding defeats. That would be just wonderful.
Yeah, she did post seeing what all the hype is about with her Blue Sky handle, and then she said she saw there was a lot of AI-generated spam, so now she's back on X. One of the comments was, well, you'll lose in double digits over there as well.
Hey, let's talk to Billy Dean, shall we?
Yes. It's coming up with him playing in Danville. What's the date for that?
December 1st. Billy Dean
December 1st.
Going to be doing a big concert in Danville. He's one of the great country recording artists. We talk to him every year. We're again emceeing the event. It's for charity. So let's talk about it when we come back.
All right. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
No matter where you head on your commute, Matt Bear is there. Paris.
Les Champs-Élysées sont un véritable parking ce matin.
Warsaw.
W drodze do pracy, wyjdź trochę wcześniej.
Or Brazil.
Temos bisbilhotice no Rio de Janeiro. Não haja como turista.
Matt, these are all cities in Indiana.
Oh, that makes my job easier.
Making your commute easier. Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lungcancercare.
It's Hammer and Nigel for Window Nation. Experts say that heating costs are increasing up to 23% this winter. And if your windows aren't from Window Nation, your money is literally going out the window. They have some of the best insulated windows, so your heat stays inside. And right now, get these amazing windows at 50% off.
Plus, you could save even more money with 0% interest for 5 years. Hurry, this sale ends November 30th. Schedule your fast in-home estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
So this new dose is, well, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
B's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Proud to be an employee of Woo! I miss Billy the Kid, the times that he had, the life that he lived.
Casey, the music tells us it's that time of the year. We get to see our old buddy, the legendary Billy Dean.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so glad that he's coming back to Indy.
This has become a staple now, Central Indiana. Billy Dean, one of the all-time great country recording artists, many, many legendary hits. And he has made it a staple of December every year to appear in Danville.
Right.
at the famous Royal Theater. He's done this multiple years now. It's always a big hit, and he's coming back again December the 1st. We'll get you all the information on how you can get tickets, et cetera, here in just a little bit. But Billy Dean joins us now on the WIBC hotline. Billy, you are making Danville, Indiana, your December home away from home.
Look, man, two staples, the Mayberry Cafe and the Royal Theater, two of my favorite places to sing and eat. So I'm looking forward to coming back, man. It's one of my favorite little theaters to play, and it's always for a good cause, too. And thanks to North Salem Bank for stepping up and supplying the ticket outlets for us. So we hope to make this third year, the biggest, the best one we've done yet.
So it's going to be December 1st, 7 p.m. at the Danville Royal Theater. Billy Dean appearing. You can get your tickets this year at North Salem State Bank, the Danville branch. All proceeds are going to the Danville Rotary Community Corps and the Danville Metropolitan Police Department. So this is a fundraiser, right, to the Shop with the Cop program. And, we've done this twice. I think we've done this twice now, Billy. And people love you. What is your secret? I mean, women are practically throwing underwear at you on stage. The men want to be you. How do you get to be Billy Dean?
I think the secret is holding on to all my hair after all these years.
He's honest. That's why people love him.
No, I really like, my favorite type of performing is when I'm sitting in someone's living room, with just a guitar, and I can just play whatever I want to play. I'm not a slave to what the band knows or the band doesn't know. And I feel that way at the Royal Theater. I feel like, hey, I'm having everybody gather around the piano during the holidays, or around the fireplace and singing some Christmas songs, some 90s country hits. And and just getting everybody ready for the holiday spirit. I think we're really coming into the end of a year where it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and I think we're going into 2025 optimistic. And a great way to set the tone for all of that would be December the 1st. Man, let me kind of set the table for everybody for the holidays and for going into the new year.
Billy, you had mentioned how it's been a tough year for a lot of people, and earlier in this year, you released a song, or maybe it was last year, in support of Ron DeSantis. Did he ask you to write that song for him, or did you volunteer to do that?
He did. He did. I'm a Florida native, and he's done such a great job. I'm a product of his policies, and I've got a lot of friends on both sides of the aisle in the capital city of Tallahassee, and people I grew up with, on both sides. I've got high school friends on both sides of the aisle, and they all support him. He's done a really great common sense job here in Florida. And when you find out he's going to be running for president, Lee Greenwood, my good buddy's got the proud to be an American that Trump was using and everything. But Ron, I felt like needed a good song to walk out on and everything. And the thing that we love about him is he's not a politician, so to speak. He's just a military, logical guy, and he serves both sides. So I wrote a little song called "Never Back Down," and I was thinking about my dad in World War II, what he fought for, what would he think of the country, today that he fought for, lost two of his brothers in that war, and what would he expect from Americans? And to put it poignantly, one veteran, I asked him, I said, "What could I do for you, man?" And he said, "Just be an American worth dying for."
That's awesome.
And that's what I try to do every day.
Billy Dean is our guest, legendary recording artist. He's going to be in Danville December 1st at the historic Danville Royal Theater. It's a great, intimate show. You get your tickets at the North Salem State Bank, the Danville branches, and all the proceeds are going to charity again this year. Okay, so I've been dying to ask you this. There's two parts of this show that I love. You do a cover of Leader of the Band, which is just awesome. I'm a huge Dan Fogelberg fan, and I love your version of that. And then you do a cover of Dave Mason's We Just Disagree. And I'm curious, you're so good at those two songs, and the covers are so good. Did you ever talk to either one of those guys like, hey, what do you think about my cover? Like when big-time artists cover other big-time artists, do you communicate with each other?
Man, Dave Mason and I have been missing each other. I wanted to go to one of his shows. He mentions me in his show, and we tried to get together during that CMT Crossroads when they were doing that special, where country music meets its other influences. And I'm kind of a product of the 70s, of that folk rock music, that soft rock music of the 70s, which ended up being a flavor of the 90s country music. And so we never did get to connect. We have it, and I still haven't given up. I plan on being able to do that. The guy that produced a lot of Dan Fogelberg's records, he ended up spending a lot of time in Nashville, and had a lot of great conversations with his producer, because I think it was Norman Putnam, I think, was his producer, and it just to see how did someone like that find their own lane in the rock world? Like, how did James Taylor, him and a guitar, Dan Fogelberg, just him and a guitar, how were they considered rock? You think of rock music as loud electric guitars, grunge, but people like Jimmy Buffett, the Eagles, James Taylor, Fogelberg, those guys all found a little niche, and that's what I was always wanting to do. I wanted to cross that audience over to country music, and let people know that if you love that music from the 70s, you probably would love people like Restless Heart and you maybe a Billy Dean. You might find a home in country music when people would old rock fan would be, that's the last music we'd listen to is country. They had a stigma about it, that country music was a yeehaw kind of music, and I was trying to let people know in the 90s we are changing. We're changing and growing and expanding.
Billy, I know this is the third year that you're coming up to Danville, so I just want to throw this out there for you. Rob and I really...
You're married, Casey. So is Billy.
No, it's not where I'm going.
Program.
That's not where I'm going. Rob and I really have silky golden pipes, and I'm really thinking that maybe you'd be open for a duet this year.
Come on, girl. I'm all about it. Come on. I'm getting my buddy Levi Riggs up on stage to sing with me. I think he's part of this show as well. He sang with me last year. We did a little bit of Disagree together, but heck yeah, man, we could do that song. And it's so politically incorrect now, which we don't know why, but hey, baby, it's cold outside.
Yes.
So we
really should stay.
We will be introducing Billy on stage again this year. We'll be doing the announcements. There's a great items auctioned off for charity. Now, my favorite part of this, and I know we got to go here in just a minute, but the first year we did this, they auctioned off a Billy Dean autographed guitar and a chance for Billy to serenade the winner on stage. And I don't know how much these two competing women had in their bank accounts, but they left with zero. I mean, they were the gif of people just throwing the money on stage. Billy, that's going to be pretty flattering, right, to know that you've connected with people in a sense where, and yeah, all the money's going to charity, but they're doing it because they love you, that your music has meant that much to that many people.
Man, it's really a blessing, and I'm very grateful to it as well. And and what we're going to be doing, I signed a lyric to one of my hits. I'll take the lyric, like the chorus, whether it be Billy the Kid, Let 'Em Be Little, whatever the person wants. If they buy this guitar this year, and I'll write the chorus lyric of their favorite Billy Dean song right there. And there's not. I've only done that 4 or 5 times, so there's not many of those out there. So you never know, man. There might be bring some money on eBay one day.
So it is. Go ahead, Billy.
But in 2025, the task for me is to reintroduce, or I say introduce myself to this new Generation Z audience, because they're into this guitar vocal stuff. They're into the 90s stuff. And so we're attacking 2025 as if I'm a brand new artist. I'm going to go out and try to introduce myself to the kids of the mothers and fathers that like the music of the 90s. That's one thing that lies ahead of us this year, or going into next year. But we're looking forward to coming up to Danville and seeing you guys again. Thanks for making time for it and coming out on the stage. I know everybody and your listeners love to see you guys live and in person, so that's going to be a special treat for everybody as well.
It is December the 1st, 7 p.m. Billy Dean, the one and only at the Danville Royal Theater. Tickets on sale this year at North Salem State Bank, the Danville branch. All the proceeds go into charity. Billy, we will see you a week from Sunday, man. My man, I'm pumped about seeing you at the Mayberry Cafe, too.
Oh, my gosh, the green beans are authentic there. Come on down.
Hey, Billy.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I really can't stay.
No. It's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has been...
Oh.
He doesn't know the lyrics. Okay, we'll work on it.
Billy Dean, we'll see you a week from Sunday. Thank you, my friend.
It's Kendall and Casey.
When you do that, like else.
It's 93 WIBC. Text scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry, McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. So what does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Hey, it's Casey Daniels. You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing, and that's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your devices, privacy, and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast, though. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends December 4th. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
Hey, Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. And how about Ray in Indianapolis? Ray needed to move in a hurry, so he was out the door into a new house, but left with the big problem of selling his old house with 2 mortgage payments fast approaching. Heard about Mark Dietel on our show, and he was the answer. He was ecstatic when Mark sold his home for the price they needed in just 2 days on the market.
Mark Dietel is the best, and what separates him from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That is the Mark Dietel guarantee. You pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call Mark Dietel today, 755-4232. That's 317-755-4232, or go to markdietel.com. Mark Dietel, markdietel.com. Tell him Hammer and Nigel sent you.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Who he's picking now. It's 38 and cloudy, some showers on radar. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Matt Gaetz is no longer Trump's pick to be Attorney General.
President Trump appointing Pam Bondi to serve as Attorney General. Bondi served as Florida's AG from 2011 to 2019 and was the state's first female Attorney General. Before that, she served 18 years as a prosecutor. As Florida AG, Bondi led efforts to combat opioid abuse and end human trafficking. Bondi is a longtime Trump ally. The president says she will, quote, refocus the DOJ to its intended purpose.
Fox's Brooke Singman. President Biden says the ICC arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is outrageous. The International Criminal Court issued warrants on Thursday for Netanyahu and his former Defense Secretary Yoav Gallant, accusing them of war crimes in the Gaza Strip. Wicked is projected to be a blockbuster, at least this weekend in the U.S. movie theaters. The Wizard of Oz-based musical starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo, predicted by industry experts to make over $130 million over the next 3 days. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on? Well, you can count on United Healthcare with Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. You can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for Indianapolis, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Hey guys, it's Rob. It's Friday. That means Sunday's going to be here. Just 2 short days. And this Sunday, if you're looking for a new church home or even a first church home, check out the place we call home, Life Church. You know, Life Church has had such a great impact on my life, on my family's life. They're warm and they're welcoming. They would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. Many WIBC listeners have found a home at Life Church over the years. We meet them all the time. They've got campuses all across central Indiana, so it's super easy for you. Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus amazing online services so you can take it for a test drive. Never even have to leave the comfort of your own couch. Learn more about everything online, lifechurchin.com.
Looking for the hottest trends in jewelry this year? Come to Pierce Jewelers and see their Love to Love collection in lab-grown diamond jewelry. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Reach your fitness goals in 2024 with the 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails. Brought to you by QC Kinetics for non-surgical regenerative medicine treatment at 317-559-PAIN.
Here we go with the Friday edition of your voicemails at 317-684-8444. So yesterday morning, Lieutenant Governor-elect Micah Beckwith posted on X that Westfield, Washington schools disinvited him to meet with his students in the district's agriculture program. And then we had Micah on the show, and he has since been re-invited to meet with the students. But somebody wanted to call and ask a question about that.
Hey, this is Tag Morris, Northwest Indiana farmer. I was wanting to get on with Micah. I had a comment about the school that uninvited him. He needs to send them a notice asking them where they got the authority to mess with parents' liberty interests. Constitutionally protected liberty interests are your children.
I don't understand what his question was. I mean, clearly the school can invite or not invite someone to speak. I don't think that was the question. I think it is the fact that they've had clearly political people there in the past on the Democrat side,
including Joe Biden.
Right, absolutely. And they have weighed into politics, allowing the parking lots to be used for pride parades or whatever else. And look, clearly they recognize there was an overwhelming pushback against the school yesterday, thanks in large part to this radio show, which is, it's why we're here. We're happy to do it. And they found out that those wine mom Karens who are mad that Micah Beckwith is outspoken about his faith are a clear minority of the people. And even then, though, when you heard Micah talk about it, they went kicking and screaming to invite him back. And when they did it to try to save face, they said, well, can we bring the other state reps too?
Along. Isn't it interesting, though? He met with them for an hour yesterday, and they didn't invite him back during that meeting. It wasn't until he left, and 20 minutes later.
Well, and they didn't want to deal with another day of us. They didn't, let's just be honest, right? They didn't want to deal with another day of us clogging up their voicemails and bombarding them with emails, and they didn't want to deal with it. It's not that they actually want him there, but the point of this exercise was to show you, the listener, so that you will make it clear to your state representatives and senators, when you're throwing record money at public education, this is what you're throwing it at. This is the garbage. Don't tell me kids aren't being indoctrinated. Don't tell me that kids aren't being manipulated on what they learn or how their worldview is being shaped. They're showing you right here. Hey, when it's Jill Biden, come on in. If it's parking lot for a pride parade, yeah, sure, absolutely no problem. When it's the incoming lieutenant governor who will oversee the thing the kids are learning about, well, we can't have that. Mm-hmm. And even when they got bombarded with people telling them what they thought of them, they still were basically forced into it.
Dug in their heels. Okay, so we had a little conversation about the possibility of you becoming Micah Beckwith's communications director.
That's correct.
You have flat out said you're not leaving the WIBC radio show.
Well, I said in order for me to go, he would have to pay me the same salary that he makes plus 1 penny, because I would be the... And it would actually be a bargain for Micah and the taxpayers, because I would do the work of 4 people, and I would be the most valuable person in that office, including Micah himself. So thus, I'm worth everything Micah makes plus 1 penny.
Well, you're the most valuable player here in the studio, so we can't lose you. But if you were to consider it, somebody wants to offer themselves as your replacement.
I think at least wait a little longer till Trump fully fills out his cabinet positions and key appointments within the government, because I still think you could get a call from that. And then if that doesn't happen, I say you go for it. And Casey, I want to offer my services as a replacement for Rob. I'm probably not nearly as handsome or charismatic. I'm certainly probably have a much larger ego than Rob, so that would probably take some getting used to.
I doubt it. I don't know anybody who has a larger ego.
I always love the thing when people are like, yeah, you'd be really good at this, and then can I have your job?
I know, right? Like, go ahead, go for it. Hey, pick me, by the way. So what cabinet positions does Trump have left? He's got labor, HUD, and then is it energy? Did he pick energy? I think there's one more.
None of those interest me. I'm staying here.
Okay.
Right, like I'm saying the offer is whatever Micah makes plus 1 penny.
Okay, and I don't think that's happening. Okay, so Texas officials had offered Trump a 1,400-acre ranch for him to use in part of his mass deportation plan.
They're going to take it, apparently.
And Tom Homan, the border czar, said, yeah, we'll use that, because there is going to be some time where they're going to have to stage people and get their travel documents from their country of origin. So let's get into this conversation about illegals in the country. Somebody thinks that it's never going to happen.
Hey, it's Charlie from Indy. As far as Trump and the deportation, most likely, probably 30 minutes after he does an executive order or whatever he's going to do, there's going to be a liberal judge that's going to block it. That's going to be his whole presidency. Constantly liberal blocking. Have a great day.
He's right. I mean, it'll make its way to the Supreme Court, and it'll be if the Supreme Court were to rule that the president cannot deport people, or the executive branch cannot deport people in the country illegally, well, then we'll just give up as a country. I mean, there's clearly the president of the United States has the ability to deport people who are in the country illegally.
Well, you already have some parts of the country looking to protect the illegals before his inauguration is even happening. You've got the Los Angeles City Council unanimously passing a sanctuary city ordinance to try and shield the migrants in that city. And
great, put them all there.
Yeah, well, Tom Homan said that ordinance won't matter.
Well, right, but I mean, haven't we already been through this where these people passed all these ordinances in New York City and California, or in Chicago and in Los Angeles? All these places had these protective orders, and then they went there and they were like, "Oh, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
We don't. We need help with the. We need help. We don't.
Well, look at what happened with
the resources.
Martha's Vineyards when Ron DeSantis sent an entire plane full of people there, and they said, "Oh yes, we love it," until they didn't.
Think about the amount of resources that would be freed up. Think about the jobs that would be available. Think about just the drain on society that would cease to exist if 15 million people who are in the country illegally just went away.
Tom Homan said, you're not going to stop us doing what we're going to do. So we'll move him to a state where we can detain him. And he went on to say there's plenty of sheriffs across the country who are willing to give up empty beds.
Yeah, absolutely. There are people who are willing to do whatever it takes to get these people out of the country, and God bless them. And it's good. We're going to have somebody in office who's going to take them up on that.
Okay, somebody wanted to call and talk about illegals here in Indianapolis.
Hey, I want to make a comment about the illegals here in Indianapolis. I work for a LTL company here in Indianapolis. We run about an 80-mile radius of downtown in all areas. Doesn't matter if it's Greenfield, Edinburgh, Seymour, Greenfield, on and on and on. Manufacturing, warehousing, there are a ton of illegals working in these plants. And it's funny because when we talk to the receivers and the shippers, they're like, we can't wait till Trump gets into office because the first thing we're going to do, and these are coming from the employees that work there, they are going to call ICE and let them know that there are illegals working in their plants and in their warehouses.
You know, we talk about the change of the landscape of our state, of our society, because of immigration policies in this country, in particular, the last 4 years, obviously. But it's been going for a long time. Look at all the pushback Trump got in his first term to try to get this thing under control. And you have, again, entire communities that just, they don't even look the same anymore. They don't, and I don't mean to be some old guy who yells at clouds about this, but if you look at Central Indiana. Is Central Indiana a better place because of all of these big, bland warehouses and data centers and lifeless buildings? Has that made us a better society? Are those jobs really making Indiana a better place? If you're intellectually honest with yourself for 7 seconds, the answer is no, because most of those jobs, many of those jobs, have been filled by people who are not from the state of Indiana. They have been people who have moved in. They've not raised the wage or the quality of living of regular Hoosiers, lifelong Hoosiers. I ask this question all the time at the town council meeting in Warehouseburg. I ask the question all the time, and they just stare at you and go, when I say, if my taxes are higher and going up, and it's incredibly hard to get around this town where it used to not be, and if my water and sewer and utility rates have skyrocketed, what was the point of all of this growth? What did I get as somebody who has lived here my entire life and made this community a place that other people wanted to live? What was the point of the growth? And they can't answer it. And that is the question to the Indiana General Assembly, is what has been the point of all the growth? Clearly, the property taxes have never been higher. The gas taxes have never been higher. We're always told about how we can't keep up with the infrastructure. What has been the point of the growth if it hasn't made the wages and the lives and the cost of living better for the people who are here, who made Indiana a place that people want to come? And our immigration policies, both legal and illegal, have been a huge part of that.
All right, one last phone call before Hammer joins us. We talked about how 49% of people will be serving ham on Thanksgiving versus turkey. And there's the food trend this year, which features cranberry pie.
Gross.
And Trucker John wanted to call and give us his thoughts on that.
I'm a ham eater. I prefer ham over turkey. Turkey's just a little too dry of a meat for me. But I swear, if I'm ever sitting at someone's Thanksgiving table and they give me a cranberry pie, I'm calling the police. Because that should be a hate crime. That's just my opinion. What's wrong with good old-fashioned pumpkin pie? That's all we need. That's all we ever need. I'm a simple man. Quit trying to make things crazy. No cranberry pie. Let's make that a movement, y'all. Also, I'm pretty sure if you went to work at the State House, Rob, that you'd probably have to hire private security. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. Since you're going to be here next week, Rob, happy Thanksgiving early.
All right, Hammer joins us next. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
3:06 this afternoon. Hammer and Nigel show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories in Indy, and it's Beer Sample Friday, baby. Let's go.
Hey, y'all. It's Mindy Winkler. Transitions Indy's FDA-approved laser treatments and PRP work. No more hair extensions damaging my hair. Thanks to Transitions, I have thicker, longer, beautiful hair again. And they've helped my husband Bob with his thinning hair. If your hair is thinning, don't wait. Call Transitions right now. 317-522-2991. And here's why. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Will Sadler, Clinic Director of Transitions, can help you.
Transitions Indy has over 20 years of experience restoring hair. We will find the solutions that will work for you. Clients can see results in as little as 3 months.
Transitions has the latest technology for men and women. So go to transitionsindy.com or call 317-522-2991. That's 317-522-2991 for a free hair and scalp analysis and get 2 weeks of treatments free. Take it from me. Don't wait.
Here is Jiffy Lube of Indiana's COO, Lonnie Hinkle.
Lots of Hoosiers belong to unlimited car wash programs because they want their car to look great. At Jiffy Lube, we're here to help you make sure your car runs great. So to help take care of your car inside and out, Jiffy Lube is offering everyone who belongs to a monthly car wash program a $20 discount and a free tire rotation from now through the end of the year. Just point out your car wash sticker and we'll do the rest. My Jiffy Lube teams are maintenance experts. Our computer system provides all of the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations for every make and model of vehicle, so we know exactly what every car needs to operate at its best. Jiffy Lube is your trusted one-stop shop for all that your car needs to run well for many years. You never need an appointment, and we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores. So stop in on your way to the car wash, save $20, plus get a free tire rotation just for belonging to a monthly car wash program.
Jiffy Lube. Nobody does it better.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, over 3 million people called Morgan & Morgan in their time of need. And with over 1 million of those calls coming from previous clients, friends, and family.
My name is Jason Williams. It was a rainy day, and I got hit from behind by a lady that was doing somewhere over 100 miles an hour is what they were saying. I've never dealt with anything like this before. Everybody that I talked to kept saying the same name, which was Morgan & Morgan. I was on hold for maybe 15 seconds. When they come back and said, Jason, we will absolutely take your case. As a non-tech savvy guy, any question that I had, if I called, text, or emailed, they got right back to me. They made it as easy for me as it could have been.
Thank you for trusting us. We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. The word is out. Size matters. Reputation matters. We're America's largest injury law firm for a reason. With over 900 dedicated attorneys and climbing, we're ready wherever you are, whatever you need. The choice is easy. We're just a phone call away. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
Joining us from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel show, it is Jason Hammer in the studio. Good morning.
Happy Beer Sample Friday, everybody. And hat tip to Rob, who made the Dirty Shirley last night at his charity event for the Moselle Sanders Foundation.
Hat tip to you for roasting me the whole time on stage. We had to go up there first, and I said, well, just burn me to the ground while I'm making this drink. And Hammer was awesome. Hammer was the star of the drink-making experience.
So I show up just to support Rob, you know, I'm trying to get a drink and all that kind of stuff. And Rob's drink was pretty good.
Was it all right?
You put a little extra something in there for me.
Yeah, just for you because I knew you were going to get it.
Yeah, so that made it pretty good.
Yeah. They were like, only fill it up to this line, and I went to the next line.
Just a little bit more.
Keep it going. I'll tell you when to stop. Some of us have higher tolerances than others here. But no, the Dirty Shirley drink was good. And so I just went to watch, and then they had Rob go up first. And they basically just kind of told him, well, you talk to the crowd and make your drink. Well, he's got two hands going, and you have to hold the microphone. So he asked me, just go up there and roast me. Because let's be honest, the people at this crowd last night, God bless them, I don't think there were many WIBC listeners there.
They were used to your stylings.
These were our other Urban One families that were
right.
in attendance.
Rob and I walked in. It was the scene from Animal House.
Oh, no.
Otis loves us. Rob and I walk in and there's a record scratch.
Right.
But no, great charity event. I think they raised a lot of money. But if you go on the Instagram, and I think Rob shared it on social media, you'll hear just a little bit of some of the things I said to Rob. And that was the stuff that they could show. There was a joke about cranks. There was maybe a joke about Rob putting a roofie in the drink that was cut out.
Yeah. He did the same thing to you that he always does to me. He'll invite me to things, and then before it's over, I'm up on stage talking.
That's right.
He did the same thing to you.
Now, I will say, I thought that I was honest because you have to go like schmooze the judges beforehand. And I just walked up to him and I said, look, I'm not going to bullcrap you guys. I picked this drink because it was the easiest one to make, and it reminded me, Dirty Shirley, of several girls I used to hang out with in Broad Ripple. Yeah, and they laughed, and I said, I'm going to go out. I'm like a Costanza. I'm leaving on a high note. Thank you. Have a good night. I hope you enjoy.
So they were judging the drinks?
Oh, yes. There were judges.
Oh.
They were scoring us.
I didn't know. Do you know what your score was?
No, I left. I have a young child at home. After I had done my volunteerism, I told the people in charge, I said, I don't think I'm winning this, so I'm going to go ahead and head out of here.
Right.
After he hammered down that drink, he said, we out.
Yeah.
A good drink it was, and I left before Rob did. But, no, awesome event, and it was cool to see Rob up there on the stage. And plus, I got to go full Tony Hinchcliffe and just roast him.
Yeah, Hammer was excellent. I mean, he was the star. And at Rob M. Kendall, I've got the video up we got it up on the Instagram, Facebook. If you want to see a little bit of Hammer doing his thing, it was definitely the best part. Can we talk about how hard it is to bet Thursday night football?
It is, especially when there's a freaking blizzard
in the middle of the game.
Snow.
So keep in mind, the blizzard happens during the game, right? Fourth quarter, it's wild. The over still cashed last night. So everybody that said, hey, it's going to snow, I'm going to bet the under, you would have lost.
Yeah.
I had a Steelers team total, and I lost by the hook.
The hook. You got
because
screwed.
They went for 2 instead of kicking an extra point. They missed a field goal at one point. So add all that up together, I was a little short last night.
Kickers.
Dude, kickers have been doing me dirty all season long.
Yeah, college, pro, kickers.
Anytime somebody shanks one off the side of their foot and it veers off into like the concession stand, that's now been dubbed pulling a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, you know when a band says something stupid and it ruins their career, they pull the Dixie Chicks. Now when a kicker does something stupid and it costs your team, it's pulling a hammer.
Pulling a hammer.
All right, so 2 Degenerates Next Door podcasts are out, the college and the NFL. We got a bevy of picks. What's coming up for you this afternoon?
It is Beer Sample Friday, so we're going to kick off the weekend. We're going to have a good time, and we're giving away some tickets to Dwight Yoakam by playing Hammer and Nigel Trivia.
Oh, that'll be good.
So know your Hammer and Nigel Trivia.
Be 1,000 miles from nowhere. Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike,
What's all this I hear about seasons free things?
Yeah, we're giving away even more than usual this season.
Free alignment with any Ford tire purchase isn't seasonal, Mike. It's free every day at tire discounters.
Sure, but right now, guess what else happens every day?
I know that customers can save up to $529 on Goodyear and Cooper tires.
Absolutely. Now guess what else?
Mike, I'm a phantom tire buyer with a secret identity. Please don't toy with me.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes?
We're doing these drawings.
Like a game show.
And one lucky customer per day wins all their money back for 4 tires.
Spectacular! But why call it seasons free things?
You know, season's greetings. It's like a play on words.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that.
It's seasons free things at tire discounters. One lucky customer per day wins their money back on tires. Everyone saves big on major brands. And a free alignment and oil change comes with every 4 tire purchase.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
1 point, 1 swing, 1 tackle, 1 step. 1 trusted hospital system for orthopedic care. Franciscan Health's orthopedic, sports medicine, and rehabilitation teams offer state-of-the-art treatments, including total joint replacement, physical therapy, and the latest techniques and interventions for a variety of conditions, including arthritis and orthopedic sports-related injuries, keeping you in step, 1 step at a time. Find a full range of orthopedic care in one place. Go to franciscanhealth.org/orthocare.
You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but you can still protect yourself from online scammers with McAfee Total Protection. From fake delivery texts to bank alerts, scams are everywhere. That's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. McAfee will help keep your devices and identity safer and your private info private. Visit McAfee.com/online protection and get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends 12/4/24. That's McAfee.com/online protection. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
It's JMV, and this Saturday and Sunday is Miss M's Home and Garden Holiday Open House. Sales, samples, giveaways, and door prizes. State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Burgersville.
B's offering our Black Friday sale. 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the changes Governor-elect Mike Braun is planning to make. Plus, Jake McDaniel details a bad crash that happened on the north side this morning. And yesterday was an illustration of how different winter will be this year. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis.
This is a Fox News alert. Another Trump legal victory in New York. I'm Dave Anthony. It's in the case the president-elect was convicted in earlier this year. As Fox's Nate Foy reports, we just got a ruling a short time ago from Judge Juan Merchan.
He is allowing Trump's lawyers to file a motion to throw out the case. He is also agreeing to delay the sentencing, which was originally set for November 26th, which is next Tuesday. And he is also pushing back a decision to throw out the case on the grounds of presidential immunity.
Now, they argue the Supreme Court's immunity ruling for official actions a president takes may apply in the case. Trump was convicted of falsifying records and payments made while in office to reimburse a Trump lawyer for paying to keep an alleged affair quiet before the 2016 election. Now, some Republicans want big changes at the FBI and back President-elect Trump's new nominee for Attorney General Pam Bondi. Republican National Committee Chairman Michael Whatley tells Fox,
"We need a safer communities. We need a safer country. She is going to be able to deliver that."
Bondi used to be Florida's Attorney General and was nominated hours after Matt Gaetz withdrew amid controversial sexual misconduct allegations. Ukraine and NATO have scheduled an emergency meeting, and Ukraine's parliament canceled its session for the first time since the war with Russia started.
More shockwaves from yesterday's strike by a brand new kind of Russian intermediate-range super-fast missile. It caused some damage and casualties in the Ukrainian city of Dnipro, but also carried with it a big message.
Fox's Greg Palcon in London days after Ukraine launched into Russia long-range missiles provided by the U.S. and Britain.
Russian President Putin on TV last night saying, in the event of an escalation of aggressive actions, he will respond decisively and reciprocally. His spokesman adding today the actions by the U.S. and its allies were reckless, noting Russia had demonstrated its capabilities and could do more.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Some structural changes. It's 39 and cloudy. Some showers to the east on radar. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Changes coming to the executive branch of Indiana's government. That's according to Governor-elect Mike Braun, who says he plans to restructure things into more of a cabinet-like system between he and his secretaries. He will also create a few new positions, which he says will promote better accountability and coordination. Northbound I-69 has reopened after a fatal crash happened this morning. It had all lanes closed near Fishers. Jake McDaniel.
State police said a semi-truck was involved in the crash. It happened early Friday before 5 o'clock between 126th Street and Brookskill Road. That's right by the Hamilton Town Center. Police haven't said how many cars were involved in the crash, but they opened the roads Friday morning around 7:30 after cleaning up the damage from the crash. Jake McDaniel, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
3 people shot on the northwest side late Thursday. One of them killed near the lakeside crossing at Eagle Creek Apartments. Forecasters expect this winter to be different, although the season hasn't exactly started. Jason Puma with the National Weather Service is talking about the changes that you might notice.
Last winter we were under the influence of an El Nino, and that is the exact opposite this year. It is a La Nina type winter, and we have better chances for more precipitation.
Puma says 3 inches of snow fell on central Indiana yesterday. The Indiana Hoosier men beat UNC Greensboro 69-58 Thursday, though it was a win. Not the best of efforts from the Hoosiers, so says head coach Mike Woodson.
It was competition tonight. That team, came to play. We didn't.
The Hoosiers were led by 20 points from Miles Rice, but they also committed 14 turnovers. They head to the Bahamas next week to face Louisville and begin the battle for Atlantis. Kickoff is also tomorrow for the Indiana football Hoosiers. They face number 2 Ohio State in Columbus with playoff implications riding on the outcome. Indiana has not beaten the Buckeyes since 1988. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Fall in Indy, and if you hate the paint, do what Judy did. She called Rhino Shield.
After having the house painted with kind of usual house paint, I was seeing cracks appearing about every 3 years and just wasn't very satisfied with that.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating specifically formulated for our unique climate.
I can't speak highly enough about the Rhino Shield crew. They also were great at working with me to get the exact right color because I was very particular.
Now get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price. Plus, there's more great news. Rhino Shield is partnered with Green Sky Financing to offer no payments until 2026 for qualified buyers.
I would not hesitate to call Rhino Shield and recommend Rhino Shield to my friends and neighbors and family.
Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint. Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Friday, November 22nd. It's 5 minutes after 11 with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. Big news.
Uh-oh.
Senator Bob Casey of Pennsylvania finally conceded the U.S. Senate race in Pennsylvania. He conceded to Dave McCormick 2 weeks after everybody had announced that, well, Dave McCormick won. Take your time, Bob. It's okay.
Isn't that great? So even the liberal networks, everybody was like, hey, this guy's won.
Mm-hmm.
And their whole strategy was, I'm not going to quit, and I'm going to have these county election officials just openly defy the law, and that's how we're going to try to thread a needle and get to victory.
Mm-hmm. He said as the first count of ballots are completed, Pennsylvanians can now move forward with the knowledge that their voices were heard.
Oh.
2 weeks later. Of course, the Associated Press even projected that McCormick won on November 7th.
Well, and all that came out of this was, again, more verification or validation, I guess would be the word, of people like us who said something crazy happened in 2020 because you have these election officials outwardly now saying, well, I don't care what the court said. I'm going to defy the law. I mean, they openly said this. And so if they're willing to do that out in the open, what do you think happened behind closed doors?
Right, when they're not under a microscope.
Right.
So this race was one of the closest in it's a Commonwealth, the state's history. But here's the thing. So Casey was a 3-time Democrat incumbent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because he insisted on this recount, the Department of State projected that it would cost taxpayers in the state of Pennsylvania more than $1 million.
Yeah, it's not cheap. I mean, you got to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and it's a kind of a lengthy process. And the law. And if the law says you got the right to ask for a recount, then many people would say you'd be foolish not to do that, but there was never any doubt. I mean, when these liberal networks were calling it, it's like, come on. I mean, even people on your team are saying it's over. And the one good thing that came out of it is these people exposed themselves, and it gave more validation to people who said something not right happened in 2020.
So he said that he was really proud of the work that everybody did on his behalf. Bob Casey did. And at the time that he conceded, McCormick led the race by about 16,000 votes. 7 million ballots were counted. But with McCormick's win official, now Republicans will have a 53 to 47 Senate majority in the 119th Congress when they convene on January 3rd.
Well, think about here in Indiana, we're like, does my vote really count? It's a Republican state. Think about in a place like Pennsylvania, where of 7 million votes cast, it comes down to 16,000. I mean, that's 16,000 is, like Gainbridge Fieldhouse, right? Like you fill up Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and that's the amount of people that made the difference. That may look like a lot of people to you in that moment, but in a state where these aren't people living there, it's votes cast. That's such a small amount. That's if 8,000 people had changed their mind, you have a different outcome.
Right, exactly. Okay, so Vivek Ramaswamy has announced that he will be pausing his own weekly podcast. And this is to launch a new show with Elon Musk called Dogecast.
Well, okay, these guys are going to get annoying pretty fast, aren't they?
You think so?
Well, I hope they do a lot of the things. Now, what actual power they're going to have, none. But their advice or their recommendations, hopefully a lot of them are enacted. But where are we at people outside of the government basically starting to control the government? Where are we at with that?
Oh, well, I think if they can save us some money, it's a good thing, right? There's a bloated government, bloated bureaucracies. If they want to start going in and cutting, I'm okay with it. I think it will be entertaining to hear all of the waste, fraud, and abuse that they uncover on a weekly basis.
Well, that's what will be interesting. And you can't even begin to fathom the amount of waste in the federal government. I mean, when you're talking about a country that regularly runs trillion-dollar deficits. I mean, of all the trillions we spend, then we spend $1 trillion on top of that. I've asked this for years, and no one has ever been able to give me an answer. Do you ever stop and ponder, like, where does all the money go?
Where does all the money go?
Where does all the money go?
Well, when you hear the ridiculous things that Rand Paul comes out with every year, yeah, that's where all the money goes. And when they pay $8,000 for a hammer and stupid things like that because of contracts that they've agreed to.
But it's not their money, and that's the issue. It's not their money, and most people, almost all people, will treat other people's stuff differently than they treat their own. And unless you have people in the government who will treat your money as though it's their money and that is their mission at all times, then you're always going to get this not only waste and abuse, and you're going to get disgusting levels of waste, fraud, and abuse, and that's the federal government.
It's very much like the difference between a homeowner and a renter, right? You own the home, you're going to take pride in it, you'll take care of it. You're renting it, maybe not as much. But here is Vivek. He says that they're going to give the nation regular updates on their cost cutting.
To put that on pause for a little bit, and as you may have heard, Elon and I are going to start a separate track of Dogecasts that explain exactly what we're doing to the public to provide transparency in what is a once-in-a-generation project. We want to bring the public along with us, to lift the curtain, to take us behind the scenes of what actually that waste, fraud, and abuse in government looks like. However bad you think it is, it's probably worse. But we don't want to do this to just expose the problem. We want to do it to solve the problem. So stay tuned. We're going to have more information about when those Dogecasts are going to begin. We are neck deep right now in transitioning to the new dawn on January 20th.
Another thing that this will point out is all the waste if they uncover new things each week, but it's also going to show the power that X or independent media will have. They can completely bypass corporate media gatekeepers entirely.
Yeah, you know, what's interesting, and we were laughing earlier about Rob Reiner, who's a 77-year-old man with 3 grown children, and he's become so disillusioned by Donald Trump's victory, and then by his own inability to engage with people who are responding to the really mean-spirited things that he says on the regular on social media, that he had to check himself into some sort of facility. And, you know, this is what I kind of tell people going forward. And, you know, as you get older, life becomes much less black and white, or at least it has for me. It's become much more gray in the sense of there are only so many things that you can control, and there are only so many things that you're going to be able to have an impact on, and you need to have expectations related to that and be judicious with how your energy and your expectations are spent. Like, there's so many people who believe, oh my gosh, Trump's going to get in here and it's all just going to be better. No, it's not. It's not going to happen. Some things will get better.
Well, and chances are it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Well, yeah, some things will over time. I think like our immigration in this country will get better. I think our foreign policy will be better. I think certain things will be more affordable than they were before. But you're dealing with this colossal monstrosity. It's like the thing with me supporting Braun. I accept that Braun and the Republicans are still going to do a whole bunch of things.
Republican things.
That I don't agree with. And in fact, they'll probably do a lot more things that I don't agree with than things that I do. However, as a 40-year-old, no longer 30 or certainly at 20, my life experience teaches me there are certain things that I can help have control over. And there are 2 things that I can help have control over that I actually think will make life better for people. Like, there's a bunch of things that happen that don't directly affect my life. Like, the IEDC is a giant load of crap. It's a shadow government bull crap entity that pulls a bunch of shenanigans. But it doesn't like directly affect my life. Like, it doesn't directly have an impact on my existence. But property taxes and the right to ensure that my daughter has a quality of education that I have control over does. And so if Braun can deliver on those 2 things, and I can help him deliver on those 2 things, then I will deem that a success. I will view that as something good happened that I, in my little orbit or my little sphere, had influence over, and we helped make that possible, right? So I just think people need to have, with Trump coming in, a game of reasonable expectations as to, Doge this, and this person will be in charge of that. It's this monumentally bloated bureaucracy in every department that you can't even begin to fathom. And even if it gets better, a lot of things you won't see any tangible benefit from it getting better because it's so bad to begin with.
Yeah. So, Milton Friedman, you know this guy. He's a late Nobel Prize laureate, right? He supported, he supported the abolition of most government departments. There's a recent video that has resurfaced. He did this interview back in 1999, and he was talking about all the government departments that he would like to see gone. And I think he went from like 17, 20 departments down to 3.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. He lost me when he said that he didn't think that there should be the National Parks Department, the office of the
here
department.
we go, Casey.
I know. It's like I'm like one of those people. I agree with 99% of what you say, except for my one thing.
So is your theory that like parks wouldn't exist if we didn't have the national parks?
Well, his theory was that the government shouldn't own any land except for land that federal buildings are on, and I'm questioning, well, who's going to manage that land then?
So what you think, like people there wouldn't be? So I'm not
like,
trying to
is
be.
Yellowstone going to disappear?
That's your concern,
right? That would
Okay.
be my concern.
That's not
the individual buyers would come in and buy up the land, and they'd put warehouses or 7-Elevens or whatever they wanted on it, and it would destroy the beauty of the parks.
Okay, and that's not unreasonable. I think what like people like Milton Friedman got concerned with is government has so much land, and then they restrict what can happen on so many things that are not being used for anything else, that they actually interfere with the private sector's ability to create things or create environments that are beneficial for people as a collective.
Yeah. Well, here he is. Elon Musk actually shared this video in relation to his Doge project.
I believe we want to bring about change by the agreement of the citizens. I don't believe in arbitrary rules.
Let me put it this way then.
If we can't persuade the public that it's desirable to do these things, we have no right to impose them, even if we had the power to do it.
All right. From 14 departments down to four and a
basic
half.
fundamental functions. What are its fundamental functions? Preserve the peace, defend the country.
All right.
Provide a mechanism whereby individuals can adjudicate their disputes. That's the Justice Department. Protect individuals from being coerced by other individuals. The police function.
Right.
And now, this is both the central government and the state and local governments. The police function is primarily local and central.
Right.
And those are the fundamental functions of government, in my opinion.
Milton Friedman, thank you very much.
Okay, so he says that out of all of the departments that currently exist, we should be left with defense, state, treasury, and justice.
Yeah, and then like you can get into, I believe the public obviously has a vested interest in public infrastructure, right?
Right.
I mean, and then you get in the conversation of like, okay, if you were to say that the government doesn't have an interest in public infrastructure, then who gets to decide who controls the road, who gets to decide how it's used, who gets to decide who controls the water and sewer, like all of these things, I get, but what he's saying is correct. The government is far, far too big, and the government is involved in far, far too many things. And if you want to, it's called the Enumerated Powers Clause. There's 18 things the government's supposed to be involved in, and if it ain't one of those things, from a federal government perspective, then it belongs to the states.
All right, Donald Trump is selling something new that we have to talk about. It's coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
The colors of fall. Orange.
Orange cone zone. Orange cones all over the place. This time on the north side.
Orange.
Orange barrels are up, restricting the far left lane and then switching to the right lane.
And orange.
Orange, you glad that I didn't say orange again? That's a little traffic humor.
When the colors of fall have you seen red, orange.
If I never see orange again.
Turn to Matt Bear Traffic. Mornings and afternoons on 93 WIBC.
Your love isn't confined to an Advent calendar. It doesn't stop when the Christmas lights come down. With the Salvation Army, your love lasts all year long. It puts a Christmas present under someone's tree today and a roof over someone's head tomorrow. It brightens Christmas morning and the hardest nights for hardworking families. Together, we love beyond Christmas. Give $25 a month to support local families all year long at sacentralindiana.org.
If you drink vodka and haven't tried Barkeep vodka yet, you're missing out. It's the cleanest vodka ever, smoothest vodka I've ever had, and a much better value than almost all the other top-shelf vodkas.
Switch to Barkeep because it's made in Indy and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. These guys are all about local, and they truly have made a better product. We've had it. It's awesome. Pick up a bottle at Indiana grocery stores, liquor stores, or visit barkeepvodka.com for a list of locations.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our U.S.-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. Not available in Washington State.
Bee's offering our Black Friday sale, 52% off, plus 10% manufacturer rebates and 18 months, no interest, no payments.
Donald Trump has a new business venture. Guess what he's selling now? Make America Great Again guitars. They're limited edition guitars. They're only making 1,300 of each, acoustic and electric versions, and some of them are going to be personally signed by Donald Trump. The signed electric guitar is priced at $11,000.
So what, you got Fender guitar, Gibson guitar, you got, I mean, those are the two big ones, right, Kev? Fender, Gibson.
Yeah, Fender, Gibson.
I mean, because like Les Paul is with Gibson, is that right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like Martin's another one.
Yeah, for acoustic guitars.
Yeah, and so you got like Fender, Gibson, Martin, Trump guitar, right? In terms of, you'll go to the next Rolling Stones concert and Keith Richards is going to roll out on stage with a Trump Stratocaster.
Okay, so these guitars are custom designed by a veteran-owned company, and they have the help of a master guitar crafter who is making them. The acoustic guitars with Trump's signature are going to be selling for $10,250. Now, if you want to get one that's not signed, they're a little cheaper, $1,500. They say that prices are subject to change based on availability. They're going to feature the Make America Great Again slogan, an eagle, and also an American flag design on them. You can get them from gettrumpguitars.com.
Yeah, it looks like the electric guitars come with some custom MAGA 45 Trump buckers. Normally they're called humbuckers. They're the coils right for the pickups.
Now, like, can I get a Trump whammy bar? Like, is that
Is that an accessory you have to buy?
Yeah, a pedal. Can I get a Trump pedal?
Right. Wah wah. Okay, so Trump doesn't play a musical instrument, but he does, say he has the ability to attract large crowds and compares himself to Elvis Presley.
He said he's better than Elvis.
Right.
He's better at attracting crowds.
At attracting crowds.
Sure, right.
Not playing guitar.
No doubt about that. So, Kev, I see that the one model is $10,000, $12,500, $1,500 are the kind of base models, I'm guessing. What does a guitar even go for now?
Well, I have a Fender Stratocaster that I bought for $600, but that was in 2016. I mean, have
they gone up that much? Like if we go to Guitar Center.
A Stratocaster, I feel like, is probably $600 or $700 still. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get a Gibson, I feel like that's probably closer to $1,500.
But these are not going to be. There's no way these are going to be on the level of like an upper.
No, I mean it's definitely overpriced, I think.
Okay, thank
well,
you.
You're paying for the signature, right? And it's all part of Trump's broader strategy, putting his name on everything.
He's not signing all of these, right?
No, he will sign. Okay, so the website says that there's only 275 signed guitars available, with 125 of them currently ready to ship.
Oh.
So no, they will not all be signed.
okay, is this a Christmas gift? Like, Kev, if I were to get you a Trump, does it say what the actual brand is? Because clearly, like, he's not just, I mean.
They're being made specifically for him. It's not a Fender. It's not a Stratocaster.
So he's not
it's not an
working with some
Alvarez
company.
guitar. No, they're custom designed by this veteran-owned company.
Is this American made? Because that makes a
That's
difference.
what he said. She said veteran-owned.
So some of the parts are going to be sourced domestically. Some are sourced internationally.
Well,
so,
if the wood is made
little
here in
each.
America, that's what's most important, I think.
All right, Kev, if I got you, if I got you a Trump guitar for Christmas, would this be a gift you would receive and go, oh my gosh, thank you so much? Or would this be a gift you would receive and be like, I cannot believe you idiot, you spent this amount of money on a guitar? Yeah.
Yeah, I would think it would be a pretty stupid purchase, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it would be cool, though. I would actually, I wouldn't buy it myself, but if you gifted it to me, I'd be thrilled about it.
Would you ever play it?
No, I think I would just put it on the wall.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem.
Yeah.
What good are you actually getting out of it? It's just something for Kevin to stare at. I can get Kevin a Cindy Margolis poster for him to stare at, and it'll all be exactly. Is she still a thing? Remember her?
Cindy Margolis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How old is Cindy Margolis? Let's see. Let's see how out of touch I am. How old
you could put the guitar next to your sneakers
Cindy
and your watch.
Kev, do you even have any idea who Cindy
No, I have no idea.
No way. There is no way she's 59 years old.
She's the same age as the new Attorney General, Pam Bondi.
There's no way Cindy Margolis, okay, she would have been in her 30s in 1997?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? That can't be right. There's no way she looked that good in her 30s.
Yeah.
Remember when she was the most downloaded woman on the internet when it took 9 minutes to download someone on the internet?
Right, you waited a while.
You have no idea who that is?
He doesn't know.
But if you get me a poster for, a vintage poster, and then
He'll
also
put it in the
guitar,
garage
that'd be a
next
great
to his
Christmas
Farrah
gift.
Fawcett poster.
All right, somebody's bringing us food. We got to go.
Okay, it's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
We know to contact Indiana 811 at least 2 working days before every dig. But did you know spraying a white line around your digging area means utility flags will be placed only in that area? Fewer flags in the yard? Easier mowing? Everybody wins.
Except for my kid.
I don't want to mow the yard.
Contact Indiana 811 and white line before every project. It's the only way to dig. Learn more at 811.safedigindiana.com.
Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission and aired by this station.
Hey guys, it's Rob for We Grow Hair Indy, and it is the Thanksgiving season, and one of the things I'm thankful for is that I've got more hair on the top of my head than I used to, thanks to my friends at We Grow Hair Indy. And it's Christmas right around the corner. This year, maybe you give yourself a little gift for Christmas of getting your confidence back. Here's what you do. Call today, 317-522-2995, 317-522-2995. Schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation. And when you do that, Darren and the gang, they're going to take a look. What's going on? Top of your head. They'll give you some suggestions, and then the ball is in your court. You make the choice. And in the meantime, if you'd like to see some of the other folks who made the decision to head over to We Grow Hair Indy, you can do that today. The website's super easy to remember, WeGrowHairIndy.com. WeGrowHairIndy.com. 317-522-2995. Tell them Rob sent you.
A true partner in your health dedicates time to understanding your needs. At CenterWell Senior Primary Care, doctors make one-on-one time with you a priority, so you can get all your questions answered and feel more confident in your health care. See how it feels to have a team of senior care experts working together to help you feel your best. CenterWell. It's about time. Schedule a tour today at meetcenterwell.com. That's meetcenterwell.com.
I've been a loyal Window Nation customer for a number of years now. Been saving money on my energy bills. In fact, experts are saying heating costs are going to increase up to 23% this winter, and that's why you need Window Nation windows, which, by the way, are 50% off.
I'm a Window Nation customer, and with this deal, you can be a Window Nation customer. 0% interest for 5 years. But you got to hustle. This deal ends November 30th. 866-90-NATION. Call today or go to windownation.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Holding off on sentencing
I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. President-elect Trump will not be sentenced in his New York hush money case next week. Judge Juan Merchan granted a stay on sentencing pending motions to dismiss the case by Trump's lawyers. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has said it would agree for sentencing to be delayed until Trump is out of office, but opposes the case being tossed. No snow is expected in your forecast this weekend.
On Saturday, we'll see highs in the middle 40s to upper 40s, and by the time we get to Sunday, we'll see highs into the 50s.
Jason Puma with the National Weather Service says the Indianapolis airport saw more than 3 inches of snow on Thursday. The NBA Cup is back in action tonight. The Indiana Pacers face the Milwaukee Bucks on the road to continue pool play. The Pacers have lost 5 of their last 7. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
So this new dose is, well, nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Earn, save, grow. It's time your money works harder and goes further with a Stockyards Bank and Trust CD. For a limited time, earn 5.15 annual percentage yield with our 5-month CD special. Proudly serving our communities since 1904. Visit any of our 5 Indianapolis area locations or syb.com/IndyCD today and experience the Stockyards Bank difference. 10,000 minimum balance required. Limited time offer. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
See Pierce Jewelers' breathtaking selection of lab-grown diamonds, refined to perfection and value. It's the new choice in diamonds. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Casey, I'm out next week.
Yes, you are.
Look at the enthusiasm in your voice. Look at the excitement in your voice.
He's gone for a whole week.
Now, it's your husband? Is that who's filling in, Jim?
Yeah, he'll be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And, of
exciting.
course, we're all off Thursday and Friday for Thanksgiving.
I have just like 3 days to myself. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
I'm sure that your beautiful wife will find something to occupy your time.
Probably, yeah. So, anyway, in the meantime, I wanted to do something nice for you because it's, I won't be here next year. As many people hope I won't be here next year.
Wait a minute, Freudian slip?
I will not be here next week for Thanksgiving. And, the way I operate is when I do something nice for other people, I want someone else to do all the work, and then I'll take the credit for it. And so I found someone very fabulous to bring us food.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's the thing. I don't believe you're doing this for me for one single second.
No, they're doing all the work, and they're doing it. I'm doing it for myself, but I'm gonna, I will always take
You're
credit.
taking credit.
Yeah,
of course. You
all
do.
right. So Rob, scoot up that microphone there. Owns this, and his wife Sharon. They own this very fabulous restaurant. By the way, he's rocking his Micah Beckwith. For lieutenant governor, they were delegates to the state convention. Tell us about your store.
Chewy's Tex-Mex. Our first one we opened up here in Indiana was in Noblesville. We now have a location in Carmel on Michigan Road and down in Southport. And we're about to open the one by Purdue in Lafayette.
So this is like gangbusters.
Oh, yeah.
Chewy's is like gangbusters.
Yeah, they started in 1982 in Texas, and then they finally made their way out of Texas.
Okay, so first of all, I'm fascinated. You have one of the most fabulous handlebar mustaches I've ever seen.
About to ask him about
How long does it take to create a handle? Like if I were to start today, how long would it take for me to actually perfect a handlebar mustache?
A lot of it's genetics, I guess.
Really? So like I might not even be able to do it.
You might.
Looks like you've got some sort of beard cream or something
there's no curler or anything. You don't have to do that.
You train it and use a mustache wax.
Okay. wax.
So what are we looking at? I mean, like, what's the time frame? If I were to start today, by Christmas, could I have a handlebar mustache?
Well, facial hair is the fastest growing hair on the human body, so it really depends on your genetics.
Very
really,
good.
So.
Okay, so tell me about Chewy's, because you think about franchises, you think about like McDonald's or Subway or Taco Bell or whatever. You say you guys started at Chewy's. Like what? Like how? How does that go?
Well, we didn't really start Chewy's.
No, but you chose to buy one. You chose to.
Well, no, they're not franchised. They're corporate owned. In fact, Darden just recently bought us. They're pretty big company.
Oh, that's wild. So you're like, so how does
it's publicly traded? It's
is it doing as well as Tesla?
I don't know. I don't know about that. But
is anything?
Tesla's doing great. So what did we get? What did I get for Casey for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
We brought her what we call the Red Fish Trio. It's our made from scratch salsa fresca, creamy jalapeno, which used to be a secret sauce, and our queso.
It's not a secret anymore?
No, not so much. Not
Okay.
It's all as soon as it left Austin, Texas.
So how many of these locations are there?
We have 4 currently in Indiana, unless you count Clarksville, which is just on the other side of the border from Kentucky.
No, screw those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
And we're opening our 5th one up in Lafayette.
So where are they?
Carmel of Michigan Road, Southport, the Southport down in Greenwood, and the one that we're based out of is Noblesville.
So you guys are like surrounding the city. You're closing in. If this were a military exercise, it's like the Ardennes forest, right? Like we got to run through this now. Chewy's is surrounding central Indiana, which means there's a lot of interest in the Tex-Mex industry.
Absolutely. And we're made from scratch kitchen, so.
I love Tex-Mex.
Can't wait.
Mexican food.
It's so nice that I did this for you, isn't it?
You are so
and Kevin, you can get in on this. Get in on this too, Kevin. I don't want you to feel left out because I'm very thankful for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Are you a Tex-Mex guy, Kev?
I like Tex-Mex. Yeah,
of course.
Kevin's a world traveler, so pretty much anything. What are we doing this topic? I've spent 5 minutes now. What is there an actual topic for this?
Oh yeah.
segment?
Okay. So we're compiling a list of the top 10 moments that defined our nation. Today is the anniversary of JFK getting
61st.
assassinated. Yeah.
You ever been past the school book depository? You're a world traveler.
Yes, I have. Well, my parents lived in Plano, Texas for a while.
Yeah.
And you can't visit Dallas without at least doing a drive-by at the Grassy Knoll area. Yeah.
It's a museum, right?
It is, and you can take like an audio tour of it. You used to. I haven't been there in years.
And did you do that?
The audio tour?
No, like just a tour.
The drive-by, yeah,
up to the
absolutely.
School book
Look at him
building?
taking pictures of us.
Well.
Hi, I would have smiled. Give me a heads up.
What are the other events? There's
Okay.
10 of them?
Well, this is the question. What do you think the defining moments of our nation are?
The whole thing.
Yeah, like the whole thing.
from-
Some suggestions that have been thrown out there have been 9/11.
Yeah, that's it. That's in.
Challenger explosion.
Yeah, okay.
Lincoln's assassination. D-Day. Declaration of Independence. Pearl Harbor. Moon landing.
Yeah.
Can you come up with any?
What about
Trump's assassination attempt?
Is that one of the 10 most significant things in American history?
Well, it changed the trajectory of his campaign.
I mean,
for
okay,
sure.
so like you've got my birth.
Ah.
You've got. I mean, what about so what about the Beatles on Ed Sullivan? I mean, that's not some earth-shattering. There's not a world war started because of it. But if you look at how that changed the landscape of American history and literally a movement that was started in this country that lasted, an entire decade, does that count? Am I totally off base on that?
I think that had some cultural impact, but I don't think that changed. It wasn't a defining moment.
Yeah, I feel like it
You're way
it
nicer
kind of
about this than I am.
sparked the Cultural Revolution.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I would throw that in there
or
just to mix it up.
Elvis. I mean, you could also make a case that Elvis on Ed. So think about the amount of people who picked up a guitar that became part of the countercultural movement. The 1969, 1974, the greatest music in the history of the world was written. You had all of these people active at the same time, and all of that either came out of the Beatles, seeing the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, or Elvis Presley on Ed Sullivan.
Yeah, and then you had Woodstock, too.
Woodstock, that's a good one, right?
Yeah. Okay, so let me throw this one out at you, and it's more recent. 2004, 2005, the introduction of Facebook, YouTube, and the iPhone. Because the iPhone not only changed how we connect with one another, it changed how commerce is done. People purchase things right on their phone.
Yeah.
How you pay your bills right on your phone.
Rob, what do you got? What do you got? Something? Anything?
Civil rights movement, maybe?
There you go. That's
a
probably
good
a big
one.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, it was very, Well, it was very bad of you to not mention that, Casey. You should be ashamed of yourself that
you came up with the Beatles.
And Kev agrees with
I
me.
agree. I really
Beatles
like that.
That was a
actually.
huge deal. The Beatles on Ed Sullivan, right? And the Beatles, I mean, they played with Billy Preston. They transcended race. What about the OJ verdict?
Well, somebody else had mentioned that one as well, that was a big change.
I mean, if you were to take 10 events in American history and you were to try, I mean, you're never going to get any consensus. I think you would get consensus on 9/11, Pearl Harbor, Declaration of Independence, Lincoln's assassination. I don't know after that. I mean, like I don't know if there is a consensus because this country has been a part of so many huge things. And thankfully, Rob was decent enough to point out the civil rights movement, which you totally forgot.
I think you could say
yourself.
Teddy Roosevelt creating back to this, the National Parks Department. It changed the actual landscape of the country.
Really?
Yeah,
You're going to put the National Park Service on par with 9/11
Well, I mean,
and
it
Pearl
did.
Harbor and the man on the moon?
Yes, because it changed.
You know, you do this all the
actual
time where you
land.
let your personal bias cloud your judgment and you're not thinking of the public.
Okay, one other thing I wanted to bring up. Did you see that Ruoff Music Center is going to start charging?
$20?
Yeah, charging for parking next year.
$20 to park at Ruoff.
And you can go with the premier parking, which is $65. VIP parking, $125.
No, I thought they already had charged you as a part of the ticket.
Okay.
I thought the ticket,
They did actually change that. They incorporated it on the price of the ticket. So
now you're getting double dipped on the parking, what would stop you from just having someone drop you off outside the thing and then walk in?
Right. And park elsewhere?
Well, our Chuy's in Noblesville is actually not located far from.
So we could park at the Chuy's?
So we were thinking about doing like a shuttle system from there. I know that.
Oh, that'd be great.
When Moe's Irish Pub was still open, they used to do that.
Somebody said it was like $200 to park a limo at Ruoff. Not Hammer and Nigel were talking about it yesterday.
But the other thing that they announced, and this will affect our dear sweet Kevin, starting next year, attendees will no longer be able to bring their own low-rise chairs to use in the lawn area.
So you can't bring your lawn chair.
You're going to have to rent chairs from the venue.
Oh, my God.
And you're always telling him to go to those concerts like Rod Stewart by himself so he can meet somebody who's there with their grandmother at the Rod Stewart concert.
Bring a blanket.
A blanket's
what good is a
even better.
lawn chair do you? Hey, let's snuggle on my lawn chair.
Can I bring a picnic basket?
What are you, Yogi Bear?
I'm just getting creative.
Hey there, attractive 23-year-old. Would you like to hang out with me in my picnic basket?
I got some sandwiches.
All right, something happened in Brownsburg yesterday that you want to talk about. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Can't wait to get into that. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
3:06 this afternoon. Hammer and Nigel show. Nobody has more fun than we do. The biggest stories in Indy, and it's Beer Sample Friday, baby. Let's go.
Text scams, identity thieves, data leaks. Hearing about these online threats every day can be stressful. But don't worry, McAfee Total Protection is here to help you live a worry-free life online. So what does worry-free mean? Well, it means you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Hey, it's Casey Daniels. You might not consider yourself a tech expert, but that doesn't mean you can't protect yourself from online scammers with a little help from McAfee Total Protection. Whether it's a fake missed delivery text or an urgent bank alert, these scams can look incredibly convincing, and that's where McAfee Total Protection steps in. So go ahead, manage your finances and shop online. McAfee will help keep your devices, privacy, and identity safer. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get up to 79% off award-winning online protection. Act fast, though. This Black Friday Cyber Monday deal won't last. Offer ends December 4th. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Pat Sullivan here for Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Thanksgiving is next week, and did you know it's late? I mean, really late. As late as it can be. So why wait until Black Friday to start decorating? Fresh Christmas trees and greens have arrived. Porch pots are 20% off. Shop early for the best selection. Speaking of selection, how about checking out one of the largest selections of artificial Christmas trees in the state? 140 trees ranging from 2 to 14 foot tall, all priced before Christmas at 30% off. Now for a little bit of fun at our Keystone store and Allisonville store, we'll be tapping the 2024 Sullivan Express All Aboard Ale brewed by Beer Brewery. Yes, we'll have beer samples along with gourmet food samples all weekend long. Grilling out for Thanksgiving? How about 20% off any grill accessory? Shop, play, experience. Christmas with Sullivan's. Hey, Pat Sullivan here with my friend Jack Hope, owner of Hope Plumbing. Jack, at the Sullivan House, we can't deal with any last-minute plumbing emergencies around the holidays. What do you suggest to get ready?
It's important to get your branch lines cleared because it could prevent a major disaster at some point over the holidays. And for the month of November, we have a $99 branch line clearing special for all your faithful listeners.
You heard them. Call Hope Plumbing for a $99 branch line clearing and get your home prepped for all the holiday fun.
In the fight against lung cancer, it's game on, game strong. Franciscan Health leads the way with robotic technology to find and treat cancer sooner. Our entire team of multidisciplinary experts let cancer know it's hard to play against us. Franciscan Health is changing the game for lung cancer patients. Schedule a consultation or second opinion today. Visit franciscanhealth.org/lung cancer care.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Royal Spa hot tubs are simply better. Come into any of our locations and make the salesperson prove the superiority of the Royal Spa product.
Royal Spa.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
We play King of the Mountain. Out on the end, the world come charging up the hill, and we were women and men.
Casey, can we close the week with me proving a point about how stupid local governments are?
You know what? It's how we open the week. Let's close it that way as well.
And look, some people are like, Rob is so critical of the government. I'm critical of the government because often our government treats government as these infallible people who anytime you propose any cut or reform to them as though they're going to cease to exist or they're doing everything proper with our money and that they can't possibly make any changes.
Yeah, no, and it's good that you're holding somebody accountable. You know?
And I've been there. I've seen it from the inside. And if I'm candid about it and honest about it, I got a fraction of what I wanted to get done because in my case, I was one of 5 and you got to pick your battles and you got to go for the big stuff. But I mean, like, and this conversation needs to heat up in earnest because we're getting ready to enter the legislative session. And the number one conversation is going to be about property tax reform. And you're going to have all these local government people flooding in and saying, oh, my gosh, if you do anything to the property taxes, it's gonna cut off our ability to do our jobs. Right. And it's always the threat. Right. With the schools, always we're going to fire teachers. With the towns or cities or counties.
We're not going to be able to pay for police.
Right. And, it's always this ridiculous bullcrap. So I'm going to give you an example of how stupid these people are who run communities and then an example of how you can find money everywhere in the community. So I have not reviewed the video from last night yet because obviously I was doing the Moselle Sanders thing.
Right, you are doing charity work. Thank you for doing that.
I was not like out having a good time. I mean, it was a good time, but I've not reviewed the video yet. I'm assuming this passed, and so I'm going to operate from the standpoint that it did pass. Okay, so. If you remember let's go over to Warehouseburg.
Right, we're on Brownsburg.
Yeah, if you need a high-density housing development, or a large, bland, lifeless warehouse, sometimes they'll back right up to
right
each other.
Right next to each other.
We're the place for you. So, several months ago, the splash pad, we have a splash pad in Brownsburg.
Sure.
And it's been a disaster from the moment it was built, as some of us said it was going to be. And now it's just, I guess, completely stopped working, and they had to do some sort of big renovation to get the thing to work again. And the bids came in, the bidding process, and I'm looking at these bids, and other people are looking at these bids, and even the members of the governing body are looking at these bids, and they're going, this seems way higher than what we had estimated. Do we know why? And the town staff, they're like hemming and hawing, and they can't really give you an answer, but they're like, we gotta just go ahead and approve the thing. And it was like, I don't know, close to $900,000 was the price on this. And they're kind of hemming and hawing, and they're going back and forth. And a bunch of people are like, if you don't know why it's so high, and no one can explain to you why it's so much higher than your estimates, pull the bid back. Bid it again, and maybe you'll get a better bid. Like, this is just common sense, real world principles.
Well, that would require work.
And they get in front of the council. There's this big fight that takes place. Two of these morons are like, well, yeah, we should just go ahead and just accept the bid. And the town staff is like, yeah, we should just accept the bid. Because their logic was, if we rebid it, the bids could come in higher.
Oh.
And I'm sitting in the back, and other people are like, or they could come in lower, you idiots. Like, or they could be lower. And if they're higher, you don't have to accept them.
Right.
And there's this big, like, as I recall, it's like 20 minutes maybe. It seemed like it was an hour. Fight that's taking place up there where you have the people going, this is higher than what we thought it was. We don't have any reason of why it's so much higher. And then this fight breaks out about whether they should accept the thing that's higher. And it's like, you would never do this with your own money.
Right.
You would never. But if you wanted a swimming pool and it was 30% higher than your estimate or whatever the number was,
you'd go get more estimates or more quotes.
And the fight became, well, the bid could be higher if we bid it again. I'm like, or it could be lower. So the bids came back in, and I was told by one of the town council yesterday and by someone else who was involved in the process that it was $100,000 lower.
Lower. Oh, boy. So
and
all that fighting and all that time and all that discussion, and it was lower.
And we were right.
Yeah.
And we were right. And I've not reviewed the meeting. I'm assuming it got approved. But the point of all of this is you have people like me in the back going, that's wrong. And if you guys just do your job and you just put a little effort into this, you'll get a better deal for the taxpayers. And then you have the government fighting on that. And then that's $100,000. That would pay a policeman. That would pay a fireman.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe two.
Maybe two.
And so the point of all of this is, for the lawmakers that are hearing this, and over the next couple of months, when you hear these sob stories and these doomsday scenarios from these local government officials, this is the sort of crap and areas that they can find money on if they're just willing to put effort, $1,000,
right,
if you're just not done the project. Nobody's life is going to be changed if the town of Brownsburg didn't have a splash pad, or someone doesn't have a swimming pool, or a recreational center, or in the case of Noblesville, a $36 million arena for the G League team for the Pacers.
Or maybe stop approving all the warehouses, and then people will want to live there. It's like they're building the splash pad and the pool to attract residents.
Yeah, it is just. So my point of all of this is that there is all sorts of money that can be found by these local governments. There's all sorts of money available to them if they have to do their jobs. They can also reallocate resources to actual priorities if they have to. And I just wanted to use this Now watch, I'll go to the video and go, it was not approved at all. but I'm operating from the standpoint that it was going to be. This is just there's 10 million examples. This crap takes place in every community out there.
Yeah.
You can find money. The money exists. Do not believe the argument that these local governments are broke or going to be in poverty or anything else if you enact common sense, the Mike Braun common sense property tax reform plan.
Well, you know that's what they're going to be saying, though, with the whole property tax argument.
Yeah, so anyway,
all right.
That's all I got.
Well, that's going to do it for us today. You ready to go home?
I'll see you.
You're off next week.
I will see you in a week.
Yeah,
Don't
you will.
blow it.
I'll do my best. We will miss you tremendously, though.
Don't lie to me. Don't go out with a lie.
We will miss you tremendously.
Jim's going to be here. It'll be just fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right. He's just like an older version of you, right? maybe, I don't know. Maybe a little calmer. But thank you.
Calmer. Much cooler guy.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you for listening today. Have a great weekend. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Everyone is talking about Galaxy concrete coatings and their transformation. Like your neighbor Dennis.
In the process of refinishing my garage and, trying to turn it into a man cave. So I started searching, online, and I ran across Galaxy.
Galaxy concrete coatings is not epoxy. It's better.
First thing I wanted to do initially is I wanted to repair where the concrete had eroded. They said they could do that. I said, well, heck, let me go ahead and get the entire floor covered.
Commercial or residential, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a 15-year warranty.
They were so